Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's been so long since the last Blue Otter League draft. It's week one. I am once again, for the first time in a long time, Becky Rita. Joining me, as always, is When It Rains. And we have a whole new world in front of us, a whole new set of teams, some familiar faces, but a lot of new faces, and they're all going to be looking to make themselves known here. How are we feeling tonight, Reigns? What are we looking forward to as our
Hey,
inaugural draft?
it's not draft league without a 30-minute late start. This is what we've come to expect. We got new faces, we got old faces, we got some classic F equals for Kimchi Poros, our resident singed player down Tobex. And while we're talking about one tricks, we also got Jakester in the Shadow Collective on that Fizz. Although it is banned this game, maybe we'll end up seeing it at VFT Lambo. A couple returning players, a lot of new players on these teams, surprisingly though. And I'm interested to see what they're going to bring to the table on a Syndra first pick. Keeping it safe for right now, not coming out on anything too crazy.
Yeah, picking something controlled, just picking something simple. There are definitely some good picks in the Syndra, but I feel like even if you're just blinding the Syndra, if you're confident on the pick, you can just make it work. Speaking of confidence, we have the Nefiri
There it
locked
is.
in. I've heard a little bit about this Nefiri champion being all right on the current season. I've seen this Nefiri champion do pretty well in some other draft leagues that I've been keeping an eye on, so I'm excited to see what the Nefiri does in this game, because I've not personally actually seen the gameplay come out, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Nefiri has been performing in a number of roles, and definitely a flashy champ that very feast or famine. So we'll see how this one ends up. The Ezreal, not as feast or famine, but also very flashy. So Shadow Collective coming out the gate saying, we want people to notice.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Classic answer.
Yeah, Kaisa is just a good pickup into the Ezreal there. Uh, if we decide to lock that in, probably get our support here as well. Unless we want to save that for round two. I guess you could pick jungle here, but I feel like jungle has been very volatile this season. Maybe that's just me. Because, like, you can just play the dumb tanks who use the home guard speed to walk into lane and kill you to death. But there are also a lot of really interesting assassins and carry picks that you can pull out in jungle this season, which Nocturne is almost one of those. Uh, just I get a reliable champion, theoretically.
Yeah, I assume right now we're going for a very aggressive comp. Obviously, Syndra, big on the one-shots, decent on the range, but has a lot of high burst. Kaisa, classic call-up to the Nocturne, especially you end up on a dive support, or even one of those more niche supports like the Galio, maybe someone in the top lane at Camille. Very easy follow-up there, so I'm not too surprised. The real question is if they're going to hard counter it or if they're going to get in their pick, and it looks like we're just going to go for the Ambessa, highly believing that that's top lane and that we're just going to see a
Mm-hmm.
lot of counter picks banned out right now. Probably wanting to wait to see the support before all ending on something like the Braum going on that counter engage. But Ambessa, just a very good top laner right now. Not in a ton of counters, and the counters that they do have, very, very bannable, and Malphite will be the first.
Yeah, that is going to be the Malphite coming out. A truly a devious champion in the current season. I could not believe my eyes when I learned that they decided to give Malphite the ability to skip laning phase by not going into lane. That is just truly like it has to be just like malicious. I can't believe they would ever decide to do that. But they did, and they nerfed it pretty quickly. For obvious reasons, but still a very strong champion, still a flex. The Scion taking that away, just a nice, safe, big, dumb, idiot top laner. The Braum, unsurprisingly, pulling out that counter engage, getting rid of that so that
Yeah.
the Nocturne has a little bit more freedom. I imagine they're likely going to target another support unless they have a better, like, more immediately pressing pick to
Yeah.
go after.
Could say the Karma ban if they want to. The Leona instead, I guess not giving more engage. I wouldn't be surprised to see Karma come in here at some point. Maybe they want some more engage on like a tankier champion, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you can get that on like a last pick jungle, right? The Karma Ezreal lane, very hard to take over, even with something like a Nautilus, right? It's just not that easy to break. Very, very strong in the neutral. Takes hard advantage of the whole Helia Diadem combo that we've been seeing. Hell, can even use Bandle Pipes if you really wanted to on her. Um, but the Ornn. So is
Ah,
this Ambessa
Mbessa
mid
jungle?
Nefiri
That's a
jungle?
mid?
Maybe? I feel like it's
Yeah,
Nefiri. I thought it was going to be Nefiri mid just because of the player, but yeah, I guess.
we could see Ornn support. I feel like that's unbelievably stupid, but
Yeah, we haven't seen that in a while. We'll see. This is interesting. I mean, the Alistar seems like a really good play to this, right? Able to break, very hard to just get through with that ultimate. The CC isn't super hard, and the little CC that there is just ult out of it. Uh, yeah, I'm a little
hmm,
confused on what Shadow Collective are doing here. I feel like something like the Gwen is a really great round out. Just get a little bruiser action going in here, maybe like a Mordekaiser or something. I don't know. Like, honestly, thinking about it, you could even go like the volley at the Urgot, or okay, we're split pushing.
yeah,
I mean, I guess that all no, I could see it. I guess that also works, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like Shadow Collective want to split up and take small fights. I think sending 2 or 3 people to deal with Yorick is kind of very on the table for them right now. It seems kind of interesting.
yeah,
We'll see what the round out is. I don't know. I'm not.
it's definitely a choice. Uh, the Seraphine will be the
Okay.
closer
I
here.
assume that's going support,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense with this comp. Honestly, not my favorite. I still think the Karma's better, but here, champion pools and all that, like, depends on what you're playing. So if you're more comfortable on the Seraphine, I would expect to see it more. That being said, where are these champs going?
Yeah, we've selected just a hodgepodge of champions here who can go into a bunch of different roles, so that always opens up the opportunity to see some truly heinous gameplay. Where at least on the side, at least on the red side, but the Kimchi Poros, I feel like they've drafted a composition that looks fairly on its face, trying to pick people off, not really looking for long fights, trying to get an advantage, split them up with the Yorick, pick them off with the Nocturne, and then using stable carries in the Syndra and Kaisa to just get into the later stages of the game and hope for the best from there. Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting to see this play out because I feel like a lot of things could just go horribly wrong for the red side. Uh, but also that is still an explosive composition with some big buttons. The Ornn, Seraphine both have crazy good buttons. If Nefiri gets rolling, it's going to be really tough to just deal with that champion. So I don't know. I like I think the red side composition is fascinating, and I'm excited to see what it does. I'm very curious.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here is, like, I'm guessing that it's going to be the Ambassador jungle, to try and answer the Nocturne from the range, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Nefiri just feels like a Jakester champ to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Guy is assassin player. He plays assassins. I would be pretty surprised. And honestly, if the game goes long, Shadow Collective can do a lot from a very long range. And once they get up close, you kind of just die. So I feel like it's really going to be on Kimchi Poros to control the early game, right? Get through that aggressive like aggressive Nefiri all-ins at level 4 to 7. Get through those Ambessa ganks, and once you make it to mid game, you should have full control. If you can get there, maybe a little bit of a farm lead, especially on the Syndra. You're going in with those Nocturne ultimates, making that first one count. having control of the map, it can get a lot done. But once you get into that late game, those Ornn upgrades start coming in, that Seraphine scaling starts coming in, Ezreal with multiple items from a million range, it's just very, very difficult for them to deal with.
Yeah, well, let's see what these two teams can do on the Rift in game 1 of our series here. First Draft League week for the season of the Blue Auto Draft League. We'll see you in on the Rift in just a few moments. Welcome back, everybody, here on the Rift for Game 1 of our series between the Kimchi Poros and I'm looking Shadow Collective.
Shadow
That's
Collective.
the other team. Yeah, I was the whole time I was like, what's that team name? That logo? I don't know what that is. And I'm just like, the Shadow Collective is the team. Man, games start so quick now these days.
They do. We don't have so much longer for like staging of like invades and stuff. It's pretty cool. I will say the Ambessa jungle, we did call it. I thought Jakester was probably gonna be playing the Nefaria. It just felt right. But
yeah.
I haven't seen Ambessa jungle in a while. It seems like the consensus has kind of been like, yeah, you can jungle in mid with her, it's fine. But top lane is really where she shines. Most of her strengths are on full display, the dueling potential. The extra levels also help a lot. Getting her to those higher ult levels, being able to just dive the backline is really good, so...
Yeah, I would say that it feels like Ambessa is definitely better in a solo lane. It's not like she can't jungle. I feel like there are a lot of weird junglers this season, so you can kind of get away with just whatever. The exhaust's gonna be... That was exhaust. The exhaust dropped.
Yeah, that was definitely exhaust right there.
Exhaust Ornn in top lane. This is new technology.
Well, you get the TP now from the top laner quest.
Oh right, yeah. I guess that does make sense then.
So you take the combat sum so that the Yorick can't all in you level 2 just like that and get the kill. I will say though, Tobex being able to run the TP here means the second he gets that massive wave in, he's going to have a really, really big back. And probably, you know, at least a component on the Ornn here gets one more lane in. Ambessa clearing to bot side, though, so Tobex might just be able to stick around, keep bullying this Ornn as much as possible for his Nocturne to get back. We'll see. Forcing.
Yeah, we'll have to
But Alf with a really nice trade, though.
Yeah, that's all right. Ornn definitely does struggle a bit into... And maybe not struggle, but more so just kind of doesn't do anything into the Yorick. Yorick kind of just gets to play the game for free. Unless for some reason Ornn decides to... we dash into proc Brittle to flash away. That is not advisable.
Yeah, and with no TP, I'm worried. Because you can TP towards minions now. Tobex can just force this in, back, TP, and force Ornn to miss waves. You can walk up there, you can proxy, you can stop the Ornn from coming back. This is a really, really bad situation for Alf to be in right now, especially with the Nocturne towards the top side. You're going to have to call your Ambessa up, hopefully break this wave, find some way to get to safety, because right now you're in a really bad spot, and I wouldn't be surprised if the CS differential starts coming out pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be very rough, I think. For this Ornn, because this recall is inevitable. We're kind of just, you know, circling the drain here. Maybe we think we can hold out for another level, or just try and buy an item and hope that Ambessa bails us out. I guess that's the plan.
Well, I guess that is the plan. Good comms right there. Tobex with no mana has to be careful as Gunnar goes in. A nice knock up from Alf, keeps going. Tobex, nice heal on the Conqueror, but it's not enough. The Q won't save him, and First Blood goes over to Gunnar on the Ambessa. Tobex does have the TP for that, but now Alf is able to survive the lane, get it pushed in, and get a kill for his jungler. That Ambessa already having a pickaxe, gonna have another kill on the back, rotating over, and with the first dragon in 40 seconds, I think Shadow Collective might be in the driver's seat for this early game.
Yeah, Shadow Collective getting an early advantage there. I guess, you know, one of the disadvantages of the Yorick pushing in so far is just that you can kind of just ambush him with whoever. So a good heads up from the Ambessa there, taking advantage of Yorick's aggression. I will say that was certainly risky considering the Ornn kind of just didn't really have a whole lot. Yorick could have just chosen not to die horribly if they had any kind of vision.
Have you tried just not dying?
Yeah, just don't do it.
Don't
unfortunately for the Ornn, still very much at a CS deficit, which is gonna just be the story of this game going forward.
Yeah, not even able to break a plate there, and those do give quest progress, so that would have been really nice. And you could see the Crystalline Overgrowth already getting stocked up on those towers. Tobex now, with the Maiden, gonna try and force in this wave, and especially because that first one is a bit lower, might be easier. The benefit, though, of the Ornn, as we just saw, getting trapped in the cage is not the end-all be-all. You can break it with the E and try and get out, which is really, really helpful.
Yeah, it is certainly helpful. Dipping and dodging out of that one. Looking around kind of at the rest of the map, though, not really a whole lot happening. Okay, we have the
All
Orn
in.
going to be using out the
Alf on
ulti.
the Ornhorn. Exhaust comes out. Maiden's doing damage, though. I don't know if this is a smart play by Alf.
Yeah.
You don't win those.
Yeah, no, with the Maiden up, you just can't fight the Yorick. I feel like it could have been close with the exhaust, with everything. It could have been closer, but man, it definitely feels like...
Oh, is this going to be it?
Yeah.
Lots of damage down onto Adam. Flashes away. VFD Lambo, though, stacking up the lethal tempo. Going to be trying for it. F equals trying to clear up his top side, trying to get that invade. Maiko now with the rotation, but it's Gunnar with the first kill. And now the reset from Jakester already popping those ults. Gunnar gets a lot of damage with that public execution. Alf trying to come around, trying to help out. But it's Kimchi Poros now on the run. Gunnar goes down. Jakester still alive, though, can try and help out. Maybe, but now we're back to the bot lane where Adam's going to go down to Karoo. Tobex keeps going forward, but a nice orb from Maiko ends up picking up the kill. VFD Lambo flashing forward, does manage to pick up Karoo at the end of it all, but it's Saucy Hunt again. Shadow Collective, they really tried there, but unfortunately, the 2 for 4 is not going to be worth it.
Gamers are just dropping like flies on the map right now. Yorick picking up one for themselves, Ambessa picking up one, but man, there is a lot of yeah, that goal, it's just
1,000 in the top lane at 7 minutes is pretty rough. Only 1,000 total across the map, thanks to those 2 kills from Ambessa, but Tobex is just going to keep it going, keep getting that XP, try and get those plates off especially is going to really help. And if you can get that top lane quest finished early, start getting that extra XP, it can snowball really, really quickly. And with both a roam from Karoo and F equals going up into that jungle, trying to invade Gunnar, okay, they steal, was that big chicken or small chicken? I did not see, but still, being able to help out Tobex on this push and go up here means that Gunnar's not going to be able to do it. Tobex is going to be able to keep getting the push, keep getting these hits, and eventually keep getting these plates. And it's just going to further snowball this Ornn, who Alf just hit level 7 after Tobex had been 8 for, you know, a couple seconds now, like at least a wave or two. So already a full level deficit. That's only going to even get further increased once you start getting those quest completions, getting those turret plates, and your whole team is up here too, going for the grubs, which is only going to make it so much worse. And Ambessa now with the not Ravenous.
Sorry, I had something come up there.
We're all good. We're all good.
Keep going.
Yeah, the Ambessa item completion coming in. First item on the board now. Using those aggressive backs to try and take something, and it's going to be the dragon. So grubs for dragon trade. Shadow Collective, still in the game, definitely not out of it. Not even a 1,000 gold deficit either anymore. So, you know, Gunnar has been doing a really good job of being proactive, even with all the invades, even with the issues topside. And I think focusing on your bot side, especially on this Ezreal, on this Neferi right now, is the best thing you can do. And you kind of just say, hey, Ornn, sorry, buddy. You know, weak side Ornn, we know it's the classic, but, you know, look, just hit the apology.
You gotta suffer. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
suffering builds character.
Send a get wetter soon card into top lane. You know, have the jungler take it up there, be your little mail carrier, and get back to the game on bot side where everything's actually happening.
Yeah, I think you're fine with that. The main thing is that you gotta try and stay in XP range. I know it's gonna be difficult, obviously, but you really, even if you're kind of just sacking everything on Ornn, you still need to get XP for those Ornn items. You still have to try and do your best there. So it's kind of up to Tobex to just keep Ornn away from the minions, and it's up to the Ornn here to actually, you know, soak up some of that delicious experience, try and get some of that. We have an engage here from the Paranoia.
Yep, going in bot lane, and it's going to be Lambo that gets picked up first. Adam's still alive, but without a flash or an ult, should be going down shortly after. A double kill picked up now for Saucy, who already has that Kraken. It's going to further that lead. The plates are going to help too. A lot of gold's about to get injected into this Kaisa with not a lot of pushback here. Alf You know, you can see him just clearing wave after wave,
Ooh.
trying desperately, but it's not enough. Nice little tech there from Jakester to keep his dogs alive, though.
Yeah, Keeg, a little spicy dodge there. Those are the kinds of things that you like to
Oh,
see.
they're
Is
waiting for
you
it.
haven't
The
engaged.
coming in from Ezreal. Unfortunately, the public execution
Ooh.
misses just a little short, but the flash forward from Gunnar going to pick up the shutdown, land the reset for the Nefiri, and now a potential 2v2 as the jump over the wall. F equals and Karoo are both here. Gunner's
Fear's
popping
coming
low,
down.
is now in the fear, but unfortunately they just don't have the damage and support versus two high damage carries. And Karoo and F equals are going to be forced to back off here. As another kill picked up in the mid lane. Really nice play there. You could see them just waiting for that Ezreal ult to come in. Jakester waiting for them to walk forward. Gunnar a little short on the public execution, but the concept was there and the execution was still pretty damn good.
Yeah, I would say definitely the whiff on the public execution there is a little sad, but they still had the kill there. It was a great setup there by Jakester just to be a little patient there, wait for the overstep and overcommit and punish that. And on the bot side there, just a good setup play by F equals with the paranoia. No vision in the deep tribush allows the Nocturne to just very easily walk into that tribush, turn the lights off and go in and easily kill them there when they are forward as well. Alistar, great to set up stuff on the bot side. This Kai'Sa is going to be a menace. But man, the scary Ambessa could help contest the squishy threats on the side of the Kimchi Poros. But, you know, it's going to be a matter of what angles the Ambessa can find. Can they get through the Alistar? I feel like just having Alistar stapled to Kai'Sa is going to be a great benefit to try and keep these very dive-centric damage dealers on the Ambessa and Nefarious. We do have an engage here, public execution.
Oh, yeah, it's not even close. Tobac's absolutely annihilated there. Gunnar picking up another kill now, 4-1 on the Ambessa. And, you know, Alf has been having it rough. It's not a fun time, but doing everything in their power to keep it going and getting a shutdown on Tobac's being a really good play. Adam, though, stunned up with the last auto from Karoo. Now the ultimate to get out of the stun, gets him out of the tower. No trade back even. 0-3 now on the Seraphine. Another 4 kills picked up now for Saucy. And both teams seem to have their very clear-cut carry that they want to play around this game. Gunnar for Shadow Collective and Kimchi Poros have Saucy. But getting later into the game, you know, Ambessa jumps on the Kai'Sa, that's a lot easier to blow up. But Kai'Sa in those extended fights can do a lot. So I think it's really going to come down to the first couple seconds of this fight, where the staging's taking place, what positioning people are taking before, and, you know, whether the initial
Ezreal,
fight
what are you
kicks
doing?
off.
Ezreal, this ain't your lane,
no.
brother.
Oh
Ezreal,
no,
yeah,
F equals
my
goes
man is
in.
dead. You're a
Here,
corpse.
flash
It's
forward,
good night.
doesn't manage to get it off, but oh, Nocturne solves the ult, yeah.
Yeah.
Lambo's dead.
No,
It's
that was
all over.
guaranteed there. Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
saw
can overstay now. No, they're pinging. They know. They've seen it.
Yeah. They've seen the future here. They know this is gonna happen. Yeah, I saw the paranoia there and it was super over. I feel like Lambo honestly shouldn't have even burned the flash, knowing that guessing the paranoia is up. I feel like F equals could have also just saved flash, use the paranoia once both flashes are burned, and you know keep that button up. But you know we'll see. We have the encore. Gonna grab one.
Yeah, Gunnar going in. It's F equals going down as well, though, but with the main carry down, it's going to be very hard to go in. Flash forward from Mikon, gets the stun onto Chu. Now Shadow Collective are forced to run for the hills, but Jakester goes in, landing another kill, doesn't quite have the reset. Picks up another one, has to be very careful, though, as VF Lambo goes in, but without the E, it's going to be a double pickup for Saucy, who's trying to fight this back now. Karoo has to peel off, and Lambo has that range advantage, but doesn't have the ability to keep the fight going. Big kills for Saucy there, able to pick up the fight. Neither team able to pick up for Dragon. But with Tobek still grinding in that side lane, I'd say Kimchi Poros won that one pretty handily. A 1-for-3 fight. Sorry, 2-for-3 fight.
Yeah, and no Drake dropping there is fantastic. They just the Kimchi Poros are just kind of getting everything they want here. Kai'Sa getting huge. Gotta say, great positioning and movement there from Saucy Hunt. Good kiting, knowing their ranges, knowing, kiting away from the Ezreal, getting out the damage they need. I think just really smart movement and play from Saucy there. Karoo doing a good job at playing gatekeeper for the Kai'Sa, which you always like to see. But also just like, you know, some good setup there. Miko hit a pretty good stun into some damage in the river. Uh, but I think the big problem there is Gunnar got blown up super early in that, and that is one of your big damage dealers who's supposed to get onto the Kai'Sa. If you have both Nefiri and Ambessa up, Kai'Sa should be super dead, regardless of the existence of the Alistar. So it's just going to be a matter of, can we keep both of our guys alive? But that, in that case, who do you engage with? Well, theoretically Ornn, but Ornn is currently trapped in Yorick prison up in top lane, and will not be allowed to leave anytime soon, as the Herald, driven by the Yorick, gonna crash into this turret.
Yep. Big damage down right there.
Ooh.
Huge combo with the Encore and the Ram onto 3. A big shutdown onto Saucy immediately into the fight. Now 2 taken out already onto Tobax. Jumping onto Maiko, trying to get it, but Jakester manages to avoid it. The FD Lambo keeps going in. The ult, though, finally picks it up. It's just a matter of time, though, as F equals goes down. Karoo knocked up as well. The FD Lambo just keeps throwing out those Q. Alf with another pickup, and it's Shadow Collective in a 4-for-1 fight, absolutely comboing all of Kimchi Poros. The damage keeps coming down on Miko. Maybe going to be able to get that plate. They are tons of damage, though. Miko has to be really careful. Unfortunately, the FD Lambo without a flash, without an ult, not quite going to be able to pick it up. But a Dragon, 4 kills for Shadow Collective, who have now completely evened up that gold lead. Amazing for them. And their 2 Dragons up. Great situation to be in.
That's exactly what the Syndicate need. They're a kind of a big 5-man team fight composition with the Encore, with the Ornhorn, the double deep engage tools with the Ambessa and Nefiri. They got everything they wanted in that fight.
Oh, look at that jungle gold cap.
Yeah, it is.
Did you see that? That was 1.8k, almost 2,000 gold jungle difference right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nocturne is what we call a melee minion. He is a fancy melee minion wearing a funny cape, and occasionally he flips the light switch and goes, ooh, but doesn't actually do a whole lot. This is called the Nocturne problem, where if you just don't get going, you're completely worthless. It's very much been observed by many scientists. There are many studies done as Jakester is about to turn Tobex into a statistic.
Yeah, and Tobex, I think a little too much time beating up on old men, forgot what happens when champions are actually able to fight back. Being very aggressive to go for that tower plate, thinking, oh, I'll be fine, as Jakester just absolutely annihilates the health bar. Gunnar was coming in to help, but honestly, just watching there in the stands, a little bit of a cheerleader for moral support, didn't even need him. And it looks like Jakester's actually going to be the one to pick up this kill, get these plates off, and get the gold even more in favor of Shadow Collective right now, who have, you know, it's only a couple hundred, but they've now overtaken Kimchi Poros, completely flipping that early game. And this is what we talked about, right? You really needed a strong transition into mid-game if you're a Kimchi Poros, and right now, you're just not there. You're really relying so heavily on this Kai'Sa, and if this Kai'Sa doesn't absolutely pop off, which is very hard into the face of both the Ambessa and the Fed Nefiri, not a lot's going to be happening for your team.
It's really unfortunate here, and I think as the Kimchi Poros get the game going on further, now that they have, you know, the York certainly slowed down pretty significantly, and that is very rough, because theoretically the York should be able to contest any individual person they send up to deal with him. But because the Ambessa is so big, and the Jakester on this Nefiri here is so dangerous as well, it really is that now the Yorick has to kind of play keep away from some of these big threats, and really, theoretically, the Shadow Collective only need one of their big engages. Ideally, they have 2, just to guarantee that Kai'Sa is the deadest player on record, but you know, they can get away with having one of them gone as long as we get a good combo from the Ornn and the Seraphine. So Yorick is going to be kind of in a rough spot, and unfortunately, there just really isn't a whole lot that this Kimchi Poros comp can do without the Yorick applying that side lane pressure. Encore gonna go wide. Nobody's listening to that one, as the Kimchi Poros will just kind of walk away. A couple of a big button used, but we do still have the Ornhorn on the side of the Shadow Collective, so they've got something in the tank. We have the Baron now spawn, so that is an option if one of our teams wants to go for that one. But I think we're kind of just gonna... here as
Are they
we
just gonna
have...
rip it? Do they know?
Wait, are Kimchi Poros just going for
No.
it?
5-minute
Why are we sending every gamer to kill Yorick?
Taking the bait! Have we not learned anything? Have we never watched Draft League before? Tobex, dead man walking, but it doesn't matter. Let's go over to the Baron. It's already going down. It's a 4K,
Wow.
3K, 2K, and Kimchi Poros have just taken Baron from under the noses of Shadow Collective, who fell for the Yorick bait. Guys, it is 2026. We cannot be doing this.
Send one guy.
Oh my god.
We have mathematically proven that we only need Ambessa or Nefiri to take care of the Yorick. Why are we sending all 5 of us? Are we just bored? We're not like
they want
sitting
kill
in
credit.
mid-lane? They wanted the kill credit. Yeah.
Dude, they're still in the gold lead.
$50
Look,
in your...
100 gold. They wanted the kill credit.
Yeah, 50 cents in your pocket. Meanwhile, the Baron is on the other side of the rift.
Yeah.
On the bright side, the dead Yorick would be the best utilizer of this.
No way, he's just TPing back top to use the Baron! With Dragon spawning in 20 seconds, and they can't send anyone for him!
He shouldn't have it. He was dead.
Oh, you're right, he doesn't have it, he was dead. Oh, yeah, I don't think it matters though. Alpha's still gonna struggle. They can't send anyone up there, can they?
Yeah, he's pinned in, so if he TP's out, that is going to be the entire top side of the map absolutely obliterated. Lights off.
Immediately onto Jakester. Yeah, we're just watching the top lane fight. It looks like nothing's really happening too badly here. Tobex just chilling. He's just chilling. He's just getting his value. He's just getting his plates.
Yeah, Kimchi Poro gonna just set up here, get some good vision, guarantee this Drake for themselves. The Drake win condition is not a factor in this game right now.
No, but stopping it from Shadow Collective is a big deal.
Yeah, keeping that out, it's gonna allow Kimchi Poro to just continue to give the Yorick a little more time to get some more items and actually become kind of that unkillable. No matter who you send up, you gotta send to. Oh no, that is
barely by a hair not being able to land it onto Saucy. That would have been absolutely big hit. And Gunnar greeting for the chickens here. The stun comes out now. Finally, the Oranhorn into the encore. Big so far, but Gunnar has to be really careful. Saucy over the wall, jumped on, and it's Gunnar going down first. Carouse still trying to tank it up as Alf gonna go down shortly. Huge scatter the weak from Miko, and it's Kimchi Poros absolutely dominating the rest of the fight. What a Syndra stun right there, and with the Baron, they're gonna be able to, at bare minimum, take an inhib, if not more. Shadow Collective getting absolutely wiped off the face of the rift.
Yeah, that was a lot of greed for some chickens, and a chicken is delicious, but I feel like we've thrown our whole life away for, again, 50 cents in our pocket. Again, just a really well set up fight by the side of the Kimchi Poros. There were some good, I mean, we saw the Oranhorn come out, it hit 3, but the side of the Kimchi Poros, or I'm sorry, the side of Shadow Collective were so split there that Kimchi Poros, nobody could get onto the Kaisa. They had already burned Nefiri and Ambessa Ultimate. They've got nothing else. With all of their tools down, that Kaisa, they cannot get to them. Especially with the Alistar in the way, and they even had Yorick there as well, just to be another big body. And of course, we saw that incredible Syndra stun from Miko there, keeping everybody at bay. It was a little scary, some of that AoE damage in the brush. Some HP bars got a little low, but there's just no damage once these big threatening assassins have blown every button. There just isn't anything that Shadow Collective have. They have to get a good, clean engage. They have to get their ideal fight with every good ultimate layered together properly. It is so high execution, and Kimchi Poros are just able to punish that by getting them to make some sloppy mistakes.
Yep. Oh, Alf, not in a good position. Nice scout of the week interrupts it. And Alpha's going to be going down here. That wasn't even close. I like how he tried to get out, but Miko has just been on point with these stuns all game. And quite honestly, Kimchi Poros, despite maybe not having the greatest fights, you know, there was that one big fight, but their macro has just been so much better. It feels like Shadow Collective, you know, the individual player skill is there, but the macro just isn't. They've been running around the map, right? They got those first 2 dragons. It was nice, but it seems like they don't really know what to do right now. They can't dictate the pace of the game. They're getting pulled in every direction from Kimchi Poros, and it seems like they're just not able to find their footing.
Yeah, the Yorick game plan is to try and separate you. So
Wait, hold on. Is Dusk and Dawn Kaisa good?
yes, it is very
This a new
good.
thing? Okay, I have not seen this.
There's been some I've seen some talks of it in granted this is one of the most cursed team servers, the flannel discord, where only the intellectual titans of League of Legends who are willing to play the dumbest things you've ever seen and try and make it work, which is how we learn that Dusk and Dawn Kaisa is very good. It just does so much damage. It gets you some evolves that you need. As Tobex, we have sent every gamer to kill Yorick, and he will still take one of us down.
Picks up
That
one.
is the
Okay,
saddest
cool.
thing I've ever seen.
That is very depressing right there, and gives complete opening right now. They're gonna go onto that inhib, but they don't want it just yet. They're just gonna move up, blocking out the waves. Don't want to get pulled up back on right now, and honestly, not even giving the super minion gold over is pretty funny. The gold lead right now, absolutely horrendous. 7k in the favor of Kimchi Poros at 26 minutes into the game. This one could very, very easily end before the 30-minute mark. We got the Dragon coming up in 30, the Baron coming up in 7, and Kaisa's just there. They might just rip
Nobody
it
can
on
get there.
spawn while Gunnar
Yeah.
can get it. Yeah, they have no smite. Even if they get there in time, what are they going to do? F equals turns out the lights, gets the smite. They're going to go for the dragon after this, probably push a bunch of waves, and this might just be curtains right now. Shadow Collective scouted with the Ezreal ult. They know that it's on there, but no one can do anything to stop them.
Wait for it. Come on, Yorick. Oh, man.
Are we going to set up, though, is the question, to try and get
dang
this
it.
dragon.
Yeah, I think
Getting some
we
good
might as-
damage, but
I feel like you might as well just go for the Drake. You got Yorick moving in on the bot side there. You have to wait for the waves to push anyways, so you might as well just go get the Drake here. Kaisa does so much damage. You know, once you get that bot lane wave moved in, you're waiting for those minions to march. Then you can head down there and start pressuring. We're gonna see probably the last fight of the game here.
yeah, lights go out. Karoo tanking up. Dragon comes in now. Lots of burst damage down, but already without the Ornhorn, finally gets called in. But it's only going to land onto 2. No big encore. No big fight like the last time. Probably bad. It's going to be nice finally, but it's too little, too late. Lambo has no damage. Jakester scattered to the wind. Adam goes down. A beautiful W from the Kaisa picks up Lambo, and it is just Jakester left on his lonesome. A dog in its pack is not going to be able to hold its own against Kimchi Poros, walking 5 strong down mid. Gonna clear up this inhibitor first, and hopefully the Nexus turrets for them shortly after. And it's gonna be really hard without any ults, without any resets for Jakester.
Yeah, there's
He's just gonna come around, try desperately, misses the first dagger. You can see the dogs trying, but it's not gonna be even remotely enough. Has the flash out of the cage, and they're diving the fountain for it. Manages to stay alive, but Kimchi Poros with the win, blowing up that Nexus in a 28-minute game and taking our first game of the season on stream.
Yeah, great execution from the Kimchi Poros. I will say, the early into mid game from Shadow Collective was very good. They had that great fight around the mid lane where after the Herald crash into mid, where they landed all their ultis, they had the dream fight that they were looking for, but that dream very quickly became a nightmare as they just couldn't recreate the storm in a teacup that they needed to actually get that crazy fight to happen again. And as the game continued onward, as the Yorick picked up another item, as the rest of the Kaisa became hyper accelerated, the Syndra started picking up some items, hitting so many great stuns. Miko playing insanely well here. Saucy Hunt positioning very well in these fights. There just really wasn't a whole lot they could do because Shadow Collective's comp was so reliant on a very high execution game plan that the buttons of Kimchi Poros could just shut down. How are you supposed to get through Alistar if you've already burned your public execution and whatever Nefiri's ult is called, the dash, the engage tool that Nefiri has? How are you supposed to even think about getting onto the Kaisa? You can't. There's just nothing you can do there. So yeah, I feel like we saw some flashes there But giving up that Baron and kind of just not really knowing how to play the map into a split pusher, you should have solved that problem. You figured out that Nefiri could contest the Yorick, and then you just decided not to do that. Once you figured that out, it feels
Yeah.
like kind of just some missed calls that led to Shadow Collective. Your comp's hard to play. You gotta play it to that level. You gotta have the brain on the whole time.
Yeah, it feels like they really felt like they needed Jakester in the fight just a little too much. They had to rotate together, but Jakester was completely fine in the side lane. Honestly, the core of like the Ornn, Ambessa, Ezreal, and Seraphine is kind of everything you need, right? You got your carry, you got your diver, you got your Ornn, you got your enchanted. Like, it really is a good core, and it felt like they felt like they had to deathball the entire game, and Kimchi Poros is just taking full advantage of that. One of the splish pushers now out of the pool, though, thanks to Fearless. So Lambo at least cannot do it on the Yorick again. There are other split pushers in the game, but I don't think there's any that are played as heavily that are as Yorick shaped, I guess is the best way to put it. You have things like the Volibear, uh, like the Urgot, but I don't know. Maybe he'll manage to pull out, the insane Fiora tech or the Trundle tech that we haven't seen before, but it doesn't look like it.
All right, Tobex, since you're here, you're up a game. They're playing with the sub. It's time to play the Singed. It's time to bust out the Singed, buddy. We got to see it. They
Well,
aren't
we
gonna ban
ran
it. I
last game.
promise. I promise they're not gonna ban it. Why would they? Please, please. All right, we're gonna go to a quick break so our teams can set up for the next draft. We'll be back on the draft in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. We are in on the draft here. Unfortunately, the Singed already banned. Shadow Collective, haters of fun and engaging gameplay, as they do not want Tobex to get the Singed champion, which is very depressing. But also, I guess, fully understandable. I don't know necessarily if I want to play into a Singed freak either, quite frankly. So, we'll see what Kimchi Poro drops here. As our first pick, I imagine they're just going to go for a mage. Already starting very similar to the game one draft, getting a able mage in the mid lane and seeing where life goes from there.
Yep, not shocked at all. This seems to be the classic for them, and Rai is very strong right now with all of these new mana items coming out. Just a bunch of different ways to build him, and if you're nice and cracked with it, you have all the actives, you know how to time it. The actualizer, very, very good on this champ, so I'm not surprised to see it. And we're going to see the answer, the carry, just locking up the
Wow.
Zyra Khan. week early on Valentine's Day, guys. But hey, I guess we're looking at it already.
Yeah, they're a week early on the Valentine's super combo, but the heart is there, and that's what matters. Is Jinx is gonna be on the board here. The old Jinx champion can't. She's literally the main character of League of Legends. You can't get rid of her anymore.
Love her.
Thank you, Riot Games, as
I could love
she's.
her. No, I like the pick here. I mean, we're just going for the scaling. I'd have to imagine either the Braum or maybe like an Enchanted. There's just so many things that go well with it. We don't even have to pick our support here, quite honestly. Could lock a
No.
jungler, a top laner, force them to try and pick something early, but I can totally get if we just
Okay,
don't want the counter pick.
what's a Nocturne analog? I feel like it's Xin Zhao Wukong, one of those
Yeah, I
two.
was about to say Jarvan, but obviously the Jarvan's banned, so I feel like Zijiao Wukong definitely fill that same space. Camille Jungle, unfortunately not.
Lulu? Hold up,
Okay,
we're
pretty
changing the
classic.
script. That's not an
Pretty classic.
Alistar analog.
No, no, I mean, I'm not surprised. Jinx Lulu for a very long time has been one of the strongest picks. Just ramps her really quickly, and once she gets going, it's incredibly hard. Whoa, Asol! We're dropping
I didn't
bombs out here.
I didn't know we got 5 Targon champions picked already. Hold up, Acel's on the Rift this game. This is going to be a very different game from Shadow Collective.
Oh, yes, it is.
Already. Asol is is a win condition. He is one of the Mr. Win conditions in League of Legends, like the Kaylee. Also a big win condition champion, where you kind of just you pick him and your whole game plan as a team kind of is warped around the Asol. And getting the Asol to really be an enabler in the later stages. So I
Here's my
guess
question.
we'll see how they make it work. Yeah, what's your question?
Are we saving our jungler or top laner for last pick? Because if we pick a jungler that doesn't function here, I don't think Asol is going to have a very fun time into Rise plus like an aggressive jungler. That does not sound
No,
fun. Rise,
no.
if you haven't played against not exactly a lane bully, but against someone like
Let's see.
Asol, can absolutely be an insane lane bully. Can just clear waves so fast, can just walk up and auto you on hit W's, on like on click roots. Doesn't even have to aim them. It can be very,
Mhm.
very rough. And for top lane bans right here, we'll see if Shadow Collective just decide to rip their jungler right now. With that proactivity, or if they're gonna try and save it.
Oh
The
no,
Wukong they are.
they're ripping it here. I
Mm,
feel like
It's still
I,
safe, but I'm worried now.
yeah, I think if you're going for the blind jungle, the Wukong is fine because if you're trying to match aggression, you can make it work. I'm not sure. Okay, that is a champion who will absolutely lock down Asol for 7,000 years.
Yeah, and also
But
really good into the Wukong as well. With the
mhm,
clear speed and the counter jungling is generally really good, right? Even if you get a bandage shots, the big thing about it is now with the 2 charges, Wukong can't just clone a Mumu anymore and get out for free.
mhm.
A Mumu can hop in. If he doesn't have the ult, can try and keep going. If he does have the ult, can go even further. Uh, get those double bandage tosses on, and we see the Malphite blind pick. So we are just going for the absolute teamfight wombo combos, and we are going
Oh,
with the Sylas.
this
Imagine this
is
is going to be a Sylas top lane, but that is still absolutely insane to see.
this is one of the most high value Silas picks I think I've ever
The
seen.
Malphite Amumu Rise is absolute insanity. I mean, think about it. You roam mid, you get the Rise ult, you get the kill. You could just TP your team anywhere you want to go.
Hmm.
You start off a fight, you could just grab the Amumu or the Malphite off. Like at late game, you could cycle them off cooldown. It doesn't even matter. You have a big team fight ult every team fight.
Yeah, and
Combine that
even
with
wild
oh,
growth is not too terrible.
no, I'm not even thinking with
It's
Wild Growth onto Rakan or Wukong who could just jump in there. You got the Meteor from Asol. This is disgusting.
yeah, this is a fantastic Silas response. I feel like the Kimchi Poros have set up what we call standard League of Legends. This is when you go back and you look at the ancient scriptures, carved into stone. It's mage mid, engage tanks, AD carry, support, enchanter. That's the oldest way to play this video game we call League of Legends, and they've brought out some truly ancient champions to try and make it happen. Meanwhile, Shadow Collect, and to be clear, nothing wrong with that. I think it's pretty all right. I do like champions with big stupid buttons, and Amumu and Malphite are two champions with some pretty big stupid buttons. But I feel like unfortunately for Malphite, he got punished for the sins of Riot deciding he needed to be a jungler for reasons unknown to man or god. So his ulti is now on a longer cooldown than it used to be, which definitely hurts his top lane. Both his safety and his kill potential up in top lane is just really harmed by the fact that they had to increase the ulti cooldown, because otherwise he's absolutely brutalizing people. But it's a very stable composition. It's going to scale into the late game, but they can't wait too long because there's a dragon waiting for them at the end.
Yeah, feeling like it's going to be a rough time. I will say it does definitely come down to execution, because I feel like both of these comps are sort of quote-unquote standard League of Legends. It's just that Shadow Collective took 3 backflips to get there. Kimchi Poros just, walked in a straight line. Like Shadow Collective, they ended up, at a similar scale for team fights. It's just getting there is going to be a lot harder. It's going to require a lot more mechanical proficiency. And Kimchi Poros kind of just, press big button, go bear.
Yes. Who doesn't love just pressing the big button? I love clicking the button. It's my favorite thing to do. That's why I play Maokai. So, we'll see if the super double triple backflips from Shadow Collective are going to be sufficient enough to take down the Kimchi Poros and their very underwhelming gymnastics routine of walking slightly in a straight line. We'll see which team has the more impressive game and wins out. Can Kimchi Poros close out the series and allow Loki to leave and go to bed early? Or are we going to a game 3 in this already delayed series? We'll see when we get back on the Rift in just a few minutes.
Too
Welcome back, everybody, here on the Rift for Game 2 of our series between the Kimchi Poros and Shadow Collective. Adam, all right, we're just dip dashing in. I guess the level 1 Xayah Rakan can be pretty dangerous. So, just trying to get a little cheeser there as the minions have already waltzed into the mid lane. No time to talk about Pokemon or whatever. I imagine I haven't watched any LCK. I bet it's a different experience. You know, the less of a preamble of the casters just talking about like what they ate for lunch or whatever.
Well, I feel like they do that on the desk. I hear that a lot in like the other casts.
Yeah, you know, so it's good to know those things. You know, the game, they're trying to get you through the game faster, but even then, there's always time to just talk about whatever.
Yeah.
Just gotta put it before the game starts, I suppose. As now, we do have pretty standard starts across the board. No real cheese going on. Adam taking quite a bit of damage, but can easily heal that up through levels and just hitting the quills over the next little while, unless we just keep taking punishment here. Ooh, level 2 early flash.
Nice flash from Karoo, though. Lambo now the target of 2 people. Big damage now, forcing the flash out. Saucy, though, does still have the flash. We'll see if he wants to go for it. The heal comes out. Just a little too late, though. I think we needed that movement speed a little earlier if we want to chase out that kill.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there, whether they wanted to go full aggro or
Miko.
what, as Miko's just bullying this dragon, who is very much not a strong champion. As Tobax, exploded.
Not flash the Q2, and unfortunately, the little zone burst is going to take him out. Alf with first blood picked up for Shadow Collective this game, and that's not a good position you want to be in. Wukong, though, not on the bottom side of the map, so Lambo's not going to get bailed out of this. No summoners except the flash for the Rakan. Still full summoners on that Kaisa, or sorry, on that Jinx. Different game this time. With the Amumu down here, could be really dangerous, especially with all that pressure for Shadow Collective up in the top side. They might be worried.
Yeah, we've both have said a different AD carry was Kaisa in this one. But yeah, it's you know, the Jinx does have both suns there. No Wukong to bail the spot lane out, so they're just going to be kind of suffering a little bit, although keeping CS even, so nothing's too it doesn't feel so bad. In fact, Jinx missed a couple minions on that wave, so we actually might be up in CS, which would be very funny if nothing else.
I will say, I do like it. We do have the matching skins for the duo. Unfortunately, not matching promos, so they do get docked 1 point for that, but still partial credit.
Yeah, I feel like that's worse. Like, if you don't have matching skins with not the matching chroma, like,
just go for the base skin.
Just use the bases, unless you're like intentionally doing this as like a statement. You know, the darkness of somebody's soul or whatever. Who knows?
I don't know. Are you a philosophy professor now? Is that the career change that we're going for?
Nope. Nope. But anyways, Tobex getting a little bit of the shoe on the other foot, as it were, from last game, as Jakester dipping it in.
No mana, though.
Just
you have no mana. The ghost out from Miko, forcing the flash out of Jakester. And I don't think that's a worthwhile trade if you're the Aurelion Soul. You don't have the 6 yet. No flash on that Aurelion Soul with Dragon coming up in 30 seconds is not really the place you want to be. Still needs to be able to hit that level 6. Doesn't have the TP to come back to lane. Miko is just going to have a free reset, coming back 12 CS up with the flash, and it's not looking great right now. I mean, Jakester's not dead, you know, it's not the greatest difference, but just a little bit too much aggression is going to give a lot of wiggle room to Miko now.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about Ryze's bullying potential, you know, with the slows and free routes. I assume this is not going to become anything here, at least I'm hoping it is. But I think the thing that what I always think about with Ryze is that he's the fastest man alive. You know, with the Ghost and proccing Phase Rush, probably better than almost any other champion utilizing the Phase Rushes. We do have an engage.
Yep, we'll see. VFD Lambo getting very low. It's probably going to at least be a 1-for-1. The exhaust comes out, but it's not going to be enough. Now, Saucy getting excited, being able to land the Rotom to Adam,
choppers!
does still have the flash and the W to try and get out, but he's not going to use it.
The flash!
Flash is way too late. The Unstoppable, though, oh no, Alf knocked up under tower. The damage comes through.
What
Tobax
are you
flashing forward. Is
doing?
the heal
Oh
going to be enough?
no!
Just
Hit
one
him! No!
Alf manages to pick up the kill in the top lane as Tobax just barely goes for it, but unfortunately did not have the auto reset in time. For every screw up from Shadow Collective flashing too late, we get a too late flash from the Kimchi Poros. All is even with the world, and all is even with the gold lead as the teams are still brawling it out. Nothing too crazy. The top lane and bot lane difference about even, although I will say Dilembo picking up that kill and having the extra CS is a big deal. Now it is going to be the pickup on the bot side. Jakester has to be careful to flash forward. Karoo picking up that kill. I assume that's just to get out of there, just because Miko had burned all his cooldowns, so I'm not too worried about it, but F equals has to be careful. Maybe ult back to mid? It seems like they weren't communicating that one right there.
Yeah, I think the F equals definitely did not communicate that there was a play potential there. They were just gonna, realm warp safely over the wall, get back to the mid lane. But, with the play potential coming up, they're like, okay, whatever. It's a little unfortunate, but I feel like Realm Warp, although it is like it can be one of the most powerful buttons, but it is also like not the most important button you've ever used, especially in lower levels of play where you can't always use it reliably. Is Saucy looking a little powerful, actually.
Yeah, doing a lot of damage there. Adam has to be careful, but also has to be careful that, you're trading the right person, right? ADC for support, not a worthwhile trade. The team that loses the support is still much happier with that. Support doesn't need as much gold, and if you get your carry the kill, it can be even better. Libra on the top side. We do see people heading up, though. Amumu clearing towards the top side. Miko constantly hovering there as well, just to see if he can get something. This Wukong, both junglers still have yet to get on the map for any significant types of plays. Picking up the dragon, maybe going for some grubs soon. We'll see. Ooh, nice root onto Saucy. Not going to lead to anything, but they have to be careful.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit from F equals trying to do things, but just not a whole lot of payout here. Is Alf going to be going for the gank here with the stolen Malphite ulti?
Yep, going for it, and not just going for it, but getting it. Jakester picking up the kill. TP now from Tobax, who I guess is going to push in mid for not a whole lot of value. Feels like at that point you should have just TP top and gotten in the way for the plate, but I guess they're going to be able to try and rotate to Grubs now, but Gunnar is going to be able to be there. If Jakester can get the back and get a ward to TP to, they might even be able to fight it. We'll see. So it looks like it might be a bot lane fight right now. Adam doesn't have the ult yet. Doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah, triple grubbies taken out. The grubbins have gone over to F equals. There's just, maybe a little slow there from...
Nothing ever happens.
From Jakester and Gunnar trying to contest that. I feel like they could have thought about it. There isn't like that much damage between the Amumu and the Malphite. Rise was not quite up yet. If they were going to have Jakester reset and TP in, it would have had to be pretty quick. And I think the minion wave was just... the payoff there from the Malphite TP was Jakester couldn't recall as soon. So could not reset with TP as soon. And that maybe allowed a better shot at getting the grubbies. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. As the Amumu will just pick all those 3 grubbins up, which will be good when we actually can start hitting these turrets, but it's not looking like that's a thing anywhere but maybe mid lane, as the rest of the lanes have not really been able to aggress into the turrets quite yet. Wave clear from the Xayah is really strong, the Aesol can wave clear, Sylas can wave clear, so... We'll see. We have the bot lane turret. Could see a plate drop there, potentially. That'll be... if we... Now we're just all resetting. Nothing ever happens. Minute till the Drake, though, where theoretically something will happen. A jungler will hopefully get onto the scoreboard.
we're melee ranging the Rise. We're fighting, and nothing's happening somehow. I
We're
mean,
winning?
Amu's coming mid, but yeah, we're winning? Question mark. That's kind of crazy. But Rise does not have the Rod of Ages just yet, so that's probably why. I assume that's what we're resetting for now. No, we're gonna ult in and flash forward from F equals, but it's not gonna matter. Huge stun. It's Adam flashing in, gonna be able to get the kill, looking for the execute. No, Miko levels up just in time to save himself, and now it's Gunnar going in. F equals with no flash and no way out. It's gonna be really hard unless Karoo is here to save him, and that looked like one of those Chinese TikTok plays with the one person flying in from every direction, the level up just in time. Now this support's here, now this support's here to save the play, and no one ends up dying in the end, which is the craziest thing about it.
Yeah, I think the big thing there is that F equals did have to blow the Curse of the Sad Mummy, which means we will not have that for this fight. As Gunnar does dip out with the clone, getting through the chompers there. We do have some vision on. We have the control ward on the bear on the Drake there, as Lambo is just aggressing in and now is going to get punished for it.
Yeah, was not quite accounting for it, and unfortunately a split fight. Doom's Shadow for a little bit. Nice little E there. Missile, but I think he just needs to back off from this fight. It's unfortunate, but you really don't have the numbers. You don't have the positioning. Alf manages to steal the Malphite ultimate, but I don't know. Yeah, just without your ADC, it's so hard to fight, and it looks like they're just going to be giving it up. It looks like Kimchi aren't even going to try and take the dragon.
I guess I can see this. Like, Cyclone is up. They don't have Curse of the Sad Mummy. They don't have Wild Growth, so they're missing some defensive tools where on the other side, Shadow Collective did steal the Malphite ulti. They do still have a lot of damage. I think Shadow Collective has a lot of burst potential, especially here in the early to mid game, when Wukong is still relevant damage-wise, to where they can very easily blow somebody up if they are not careful. So I think it kind of makes sense as to why they backed out, but I feel like it just is a little bit too passive for reasons I don't fully understand. As the Mountain Drake
Shadow Collective
will
just
get
come back and
up
take it.
by Shadow Collective. Okay, the Chem Plants bloom. This is great news for Chem Plant fans. As Tobex is gonna pick up a plate in the top side, which is good for them, I suppose. Actually staying, at least CS-wise, relatively even with the Sylas. Not getting bullied out as hard as we saw the Ornn, as Alpha on the Ornn last game. But also Sylas has been roaming pretty aggressively here, so we'll see. We have an engage.
Yep, going in, the exhaust used, but it's not going to lead to anything. Unfortunately, both of these lanes right now, both of these bot lanes right now feel... they have decent damage, but there's no real 100 to 0 all-in percentage. They just take a little bit too long to get all of the damage out. So I'm not surprised to see, these soft engages, but using everything, burning the exhausts, and just backing up. The flash was used from Saucy, which is kind of a big deal, but unfortunately there's no objective to fight for, and it doesn't look like Gunnar is going to be going for anything anytime soon. So I don't think it's going to matter as much, though. Saucy, though, hitting the level 9, getting that nice little elixir of skill, can be able to get that level, and already stacking up the wild arrows, which is going to be a big scaling later into the game.
Yeah, getting that going is very nice to see for the Jinx. It's all about the scaling here. This is a 2-threat composition on the side of the Kimchi Poros. They got to make sure both threats are as big and dangerous as possible. Speaking of dangerous here, that Mega Death Rocket was not, but Miko certainly is. So I guess it's we're just standing
Okay, we're going in.
Spotted.
Nice interrupt from Gunnar, though. Gonna be able to stop that play dead in its tracks. That was like a frame-perfect interrupt, too. I saw the portal go off. They were gone, and Gunnar just knocks him up just in time.
Yeah, the real portal they got entered into was the Cyclone, as it turns out.
The real portal was the friends we made along the way.
I don't know if Wukong's really a friend in this scenario. Although has not done anything in this game, still zeros across the board.
He has no enemies.
On the scoreboard.
Tobex has enemies,
no enemies, has no friends, cannot be trusted. Oh,
he makes it out. All right.
We have absconded this as the Malphite will escape.
No, Wukong's actually chill. Okay, Adam, all in. Are we trying to fight? Yeah, I was about to say, we're not fighting this.
Where's my friend?
What are friends?
Wait.
Are defense even
Wait,
exist?
what are we
Are
doing?
we turning this?
Wait,
Okay,
where
it
did
looks
our,
like
where
they're
did
gonna
our
back off.
HP go? We
Yeah,
disappeared?
no, not a lot of communication there. Gunner looking to try and get on the board, but their eyes is just gonna back off. Really 0-0-0 on this Wukong. He really does have no enemies, but enemies all over the rest of the map. As F equals goes in, Adam dives in though immediately, manages to dodge the bandage toss in doing so. So I guess being absolutely insane has its benefits sometimes, because if he didn't, he would have gotten hit under tower and probably killed. But turns out playing like a psychopath and going in when you're no HP can actually work sometimes.
Yeah, it's the you know, you're assuming that your opponent is going to make a smart decision, and then they don't. So it's a surprise. As Saucy will pick up another one here. Adam will drop. We do have a potential engage with the lockdown. We'll keep Alf out of doing anything here once again.
But Drag's still up, not up for a minute, so we're kind of just burning a lot right now for not a whole lot of reason. Lambo gonna be able to get a lot of roots and damage off. I don't think they kill him though. This guy's building a tank, so.
Yeah, we're trying to cut through this rock with like a pair of scissors. I don't know if you've heard.
It's not even a scissor. It's like a relatively sharp feather.
We've sharpened this feather. It still tickles, but it's like it's a tickle. It's like it hurts a little bit. Oh my God, we're a corpse.
No,
we are a corpse. We have
not like this.
We are deceased.
Dude, we're never learning our lesson if we're Lambo. I guess. It's happened like 5 times this series already. Are we?
All right, it's time for the seasonal talk about the concept that many draft players struggle with.
Object permanence.
Draft players struggle with it, and of course, infants also struggle with this. It's called object permanence. Just
because you can't see something.
You can't see the guy on the map does not mean they're not there. They can still kill you.
I don't know what it is. It happens every season, and it's funny because all the players always get better towards the end of the season, but then those same players will struggle at the start of the next season. It's like they go back into solo queue and it just like reverts their brains.
Solo queue does kind of rot your brain.
Takes a gap year after high school, and they just keep taking gap years every year.
Yeah, you know.
It's like I go to school, I learn. I go to a gap year. I go to school, I learn. I have a gap year. Like.
You truly learn everything and nothing. It's powerful stuff. As Mika will get a route here, as control of the river and this Drake are going to go to the Kimchi Poros, and there's just HP bars are a little too low on the side of the Shadow Collective to contest here. So the first of the Chemtech Drakes will go over to the Kimchi Poros as they split up and get back to pushing those waves. Getting some wave control, bearing up in about a minute 30. We'll see if they try and make something happen in the mid lane here with a siege, potentially. Herald is in the pocket of Gunner, who still has done nothing this game. Truly incredible. Is Jixter? Jixter's alive. Jixter's gonna.
Nah,
we have allies.
We're fine. We're chilling. It really is funny though. This Wukong has actually just not been a part of anything at all. We are just hard farming on the Wukong.
And the worst part is we don't even have that much of a CS lead over the Amumu. We've done nothing and accomplished nothing and have gained truly nothing on Wukong. What you think Wukong's gonna scale? Have you played the champion before? This is a question. Presumably you have. We got to do something. I know it's difficult with how safe the lanes are for, you know, how do you get on Lulu Jinx? How do you get on Rise? He's the fastest man alive. Malphite, you can't kill him. He's a big rock. So, like, what are you going to do? In which case, the question is, why don't we pick this champion? Why are we here? Just to suffer?
Yeah. It's certainly a suffering moment. I don't know. It's hard. I'm trying to provide good analysis, but there really is no good analysis to why the Wukong has done nothing. We're just perma-farming. We're never at any of the fights, and it feels like the same problem as Game 1, right? Shadow Collective just don't seem to be on the same page. It seems like we're just running all over the place, and I get it. We don't have our top laner, but we only had 3 days to practice anyway. It shouldn't be that big of a difference, quite honestly. I know some of these players have played together before, but not all of them, and we're just down 4K golds at 20 minutes again. 2 dragons as well, but a huge combo now. Finally, the Wukong getting into the mix of things, getting active on the map. Karoo manages to keep alive for right now. The polymorph goes off, and finally the shutdown now. Gunnar going forward, managing to pick up the double kills. And it is 1-1. Miko, though, going to be able to do a lot of damage now.
We did it!
Yep, finally picked it up, but now it is Alf here to join the fight. Flash forward, but they're not going to be able to get anything. Alf picking up the Malphite ultimate, trying to go forward. Now it's F equals trying to go in without a Cursed Sad Mummy. He's not going to be able to do anything. Alf over the wall, looking to pick up Miko. Finally, F equals manages to pick up VFD Lambo, but it's not going to be enough as Alf picks up Miko. It was 2 kills, though, and that's quite impressive for a Mumu before he goes down. Unfortunately, Tobex in the middle of 3 now at this point is not going to be able to turn the fight over the wall unless we throw all the bodies into the meat grinder for no reason. We are 3 magic damage champions into a hollow radiance magic. Oh my god! From downtown, the Rocket manages to pick up Jakester. Yeah, I mean, I was joking.
And the Finchy Herald. And the Finchy Herald walks
joking
into
about
out of nowhere.
Oh, and we're taking it. We're taking it.
Why are we doing this? You're going to die. Watch out. No.
Are we watching TikTok gameplay right now? Like I'm so confused. It's just one play after the other that just it's literally the great throw off, dude. Like who can throw harder?
This is that Oscar film, one battle after another.
This is our Oscar night right here. There's no benefit to it either. It doesn't determine playoffs or anything. We are just Oscar-nating the first week of games for no reason.
This draft is so bad.
Your draft is so bad.
Whoa, man, we're going to have a fight here. Great. We got to engage. Pretty good start.
Big, huge descent right there. A big star. Tobex trying to stay alive now. Unfortunately, the Baron's doing a lot of damage and is assisting in a couple of kills right now as VFD Lambo finally keeps going forward. It is just Gunnar and VFD Lambo left in a fight, and unfortunately, those are the 280 damage dealers. And they will pick up the kills eventually. It took a while. Eventually. But we do have our Wukong on the board. We do have Shadow Collective winning some fights. And now we're within a 1K gold deficit. We're managing to shore it up. We're getting those towers down. And it looks like they're almost there, especially once they get this tier 2. It's going to be completely evened up with the Baron, with some towers under their name. Everyone on the team now does, in fact, have kill participation.
We did it.
And a dragon coming up in 15 seconds for them to fight over.
Yeah, that was a Baron started out by Kimchi Poros, but without really a good game plan. And I gotta say, great engage from Adam. Good follow-up by Jakester. Jakester fully armed there with the Comet at max capacity, dropping so much damage. And I think the Baron softening up the side of Kimchi Poros certainly helped out. Granted, the Baron was kind of working both sides there. We saw sniping out Jakester as he tried to dip over the wall. Out of that fight, the Baron was able to pick that one up, but just a lot of passive damage coming from the Purple Worm that the Shadow Syndicate made the most of. It's down to Drake is going to be the target. Stolen out!
Yep, big stars though. Damage keeps going down. Tobex being able to land a really big play on the backline. F equals have to be crazy though as the flight is now split in 2. Jakes are going to try and rejoin with the team, but he doesn't even need to. As Gunnar and Lambo shred the rest of Kimchi's Poros. And it's going to be a 5-0 clean sweep right there for Shadow Collective as they're going to be starting to push in both the mid lane and the bot lane after getting that dragon. And this game has been completely flipped on its head.
Yeah, blown wide open by the Shadow Collective here. The secret, what really cracked it open was Wukong finally getting killed,
Yeah, it turns out if we are not fighting a 4v5 and we actually have our jungle connect to the game and turn on his monitor, we can in fact win fights.
Yeah, and I think also part of this is Alf doing a lot of work, just frontlining, taking those ultimates, and Jakester here as well, really ascending on this Acel. In that last fight there around the Drake, Gunnar was able to just get in very easily, just not really well set up by the Kimchi Poros, and Jakester getting another big tripler around that. This mostly just staying untouched in these fights. Kind of I guess the problem of having big stupid buttons is that when you only have 2 of them and then they're gone, like how do you get on Acel? You have to start the fight on top of Acel, otherwise you're never going to reach him. And I think that now the Kimchi Poros are going to have to try and solve the puzzle of how do we get on top of the Aesol without throwing our lives away. Because Aesol can melt these tanks if given the opportunity. Speaking of tanks getting melted, we're trying to put this rock through some... Okay, never mind. Goodbye. He's an unstoppable force, as it turns out. And he's
Are we just making the same mistake as game 1, where we send 5 people after Tobax for no reason and then lose all of our objectives? We have Baron advantage too. Like, this is just
Wait, what are we doing?
Wait,
we have Baron. This is true. What are we doing? What? Wait a minute.
I think it's literally the same mistake as game 1. We're losing so many plates, so many towers, so much pressure here. And Shadow Collective just getting pulled in every direction once again for a Malphite building full tank.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we didn't lose a whole lot. We lost like a turret and like, okay, that's fine. It was only an outer turret. We didn't lose either of our inner turrets, which is nice. I feel like it just it's losing things for no reason and getting nothing out of it. The point of a trade is that you're supposed to like get something. If you're planning on trading your outer turret, that should be a losing trade. Kimchi Poros should have to put resources into that and then lose, because it's not worth their time. It shouldn't have been worth their time, but they just get nothing. They get it for free because the Shadow Collective sent 4 gamers up to try and kill a rock who is very tanky and building support items. I love tanks, y'all. I love the backpack. Oh wait, is that Vandal Pipes? I love Vandal Pipes. Vandal Pipes backpack. I love the tank support items.
Wait, is he just stacking support items on the Malphite now? This is the ultimate weak side top laner. This is the weak side top laner you pray for in your dreams.
This guy.
Like, I don't need to be the hero. I just build Vandal Pipes and what is that? That's Hollow Radiance, that's Vandal Pipes, and the Zeke's Convergence, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We get the backpack next, and then we're really cruising.
We're going for it.
I actually love the.
I feel like
tanks,
it might be the what's it called,
items.
the new tank item, the Protoplasm Harness that gives you like the lifeline.
Oh,
that restores you a bunch of health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really like a lot of these new tank support items. I think they're so cool.
Yeah, Vandal Pipes definitely came out a bit too broken, but like, it's a good design. I think the nerfs are gonna be fine, right? Like, 2K for that item was insane, but it is a really cool item. The Protoplasm Harness is a really cool item. I think a lot of the new items are actually really cool. I think some of them are just a little niche. Like, a good example would be the Actualizer, right? Which we might see Rise built this game. We'll see if he ends up getting to it, but yeah, that's a really cool item, right? It's just, I think it depends, but I think they kind of did a really good job on this batch of new items.
I like having niche items. I think even if there's only one scenario where you build this item, I like having that option because it's just fun. It's fun to have it. Sure, are people gonna build it in the wrong scenario? Yeah, that's not my problem. I'm not gonna build it in the wrong scenario because I read the tooltip. I've seen the layers. I'm not gonna be a moron. So let me have the item for when it's good. As we do have a potential catch here, as F equals gonna have to burn Flash to avoid getting themselves killed off of that, as Shadow Collective just have total control over the map once again. Just moving around as the death ball here, and there's not really a whole lot Kimchi Poros can do without getting a catch, as F equals set on a magical journey right there, giving the Amumu ulti over to Silas. Baron getting burned, but not super quick.
Adam has been doing a really good job of zoning right now. Gunner going in, and a fight's going to start off. Big combo right there. Maiko trying to go in, but Lambo manages to get it out. Big star drop from Jakester, who's doing a lot of damage right now, but Tobax is on the back line, and it's not looking good right now. A GA pop comes through. Now it's going to be going Alf going forward. Not going to be enough, though. Saucy, unfortunately, was only able to get a hit onto Gunner, who was into the GA, which means did not get excited.
Wait, no, they didn't.
No.
I thought they got it for some reason.
Wait, did they?
Wait, hold up.
Oh, they did!
What? What do you mean?
Oh my
I didn't even
god.
see that happen. I
That
saw
was
that
that's
I saw
crazy.
that Shadow Collective didn't have the empowered recall, but then somebody I assume the jungler did, because
Yeah,
somebody gets empowered recalls for free. I was like, okay, now they definitely did have that.
right,
And
it was
then
the mid laner, right? Because the mid lane thing gives you empowered recall. Oh my god. I will say, no GA is important though, because Saucy not being able to get excited kind of decided that fight.
Mhm.
If the Jinx got excited, I think you definitely win that. Also, Neuron activation, there's the actualizer onto their eyes.
Yep.
Big pickup. And those three items, this sort of Seraph's actualizer full stack Roacore for Rise is kind of Exodia right now. You just get so much strength from being able to use it. So hopefully going to be able to make it plays off that. And Kimchi Poros, they're still behind, but not anywhere near as behind as they were before. The bot lane having that Baron buff is a big deal, and you really need to rely on your Jinx now more than ever when you're in this game state. 31 minutes into the game, starting to approach those 4th, 5th items even for some characters. And if Shadow Collective can't make something happen soon, I'm a little worried, but I don't know, maybe they might be. I also just realized this, and all the farming and stuff that's been going on, Gunnar is level 17.
Yeah, the payoff for the herbivore Wukong, payoff
Is the
is
jungler going to be the
finally.
first person to hit 18 in this game? That would be crazy.
That would be pretty crazy. And I will say Gunnar has been doing quite a lot since getting the first kill at like 20 minutes or so. Has been doing quite a lot around the map. I will say also, kind of looking back at that last fight, what allowed Kimchi Poros in there, they were a Tobek. Yeah, Tobex was able to kind of actually get onto Jigster there. F equals and Tobex were both able to get on to that ASOL, but there just really wasn't the follow up they needed to have to actually kill the ASOL. And I think that's going to be another. If for these big fights, it can't just come down to only Tobex and the Amumu trying to kill the ASOL here. They really need to have Jinx in a good position, getting excited off of like just a random stray kill earlier in the fight, then being able to run down the ASOL is what they need to actually get the Jinx going and take down this big dragon, who otherwise is going to be dragging his nuts all over their foreheads, and it's not going to be good for anyone on the side of the Kimchi Poros. But man, it's a battle of, can we keep our dragon alive versus the two threat composition of the Kimchi Poros, where if they lose one of their threats, the game gets a lot more difficult. As Alf does have the Malphite ulti stolen, 30 seconds on this Drake. The Chemtech, it's a Chemtech. It may say mountain up there, but you know, we don't have the technology to get the Chemtech icon. It's only been several seasons, but maybe someday, as Adam's gonna engage.
Yep, big fight starting out, and it's Miko that's going down first. Saucy
our carries
trying to
have
be kept
been
alive, but a
locked out.
big stun onto Saucy, who absolutely needs to get excited.
We're excited.
Finally manages to do it, and Tobex has just been buying so much time in the backline. Another kill now onto Gunnar. Saucy with 2 stacks that get excited, needs to keep going forward, Adam over the wall to try and save himself, but this is the problem with the Jinx. If you don't get on her immediately, gets 1 kill and just takes over the fight as they go back, and they might just try and rip this one, especially with Gunnar not having the smite and Jakester not having the ultimate. I don't think they can fight this back. Both teams now about to be on soul point. Baron up in a minute 30, and every fight can be disastrous now.
Yeah, every fight could be the game here. If anybody steps up, I will say Kimchi Poros, because Tobex there really did just soak up so much damage, which is very funny considering the bundle pipes as an inventory. We have support items and we're still so tanky. It's just very amusing to me to see that. We can take a look at some of the gold deficits here. It's all really close. I think the biggest deficit is in that mid lane, where the ASOL is about 4K, a little close to 4K up. Bot lane, the Jinx is about 3.5-ish. I'm an English teacher. I don't know these numbers. So there are some deficits in these carry roles, And it is going to be a battle of these late game win conditions. Jakester versus Saucy Hunt. Which of these teams can play around their win condition better? Which of these teams can play around their carries better? I feel like theoretically you would hope that your Sylas would be able to do damage, but you just haven't really seen a lot of that in these later stages of the game, as we have a pick.
Yeah, big pick too. Getting Karoo immediately. Saucy not quite in the fight yet. Being able to take out Maiko as well. F equals has to be careful on the allies procs. Getting slowed down, but Alf regrouping with the team now.
Jinx.
We'll have to see Jakester over the wall. Big ult there. Saucy needs to keep going. Big rocket, but Jakester not quite going to be able to go down. Not able to join the fight. It's just a little bit too late. Tobex, is he going to be able to get the kill? No, he is not. And unfortunately, without the excited, this is what happens. You know, we called it. It really does matter whether Jinx gets excited at the start of the fight. If not, you lose. If it does, you win. But Shadow Collective going to be able to pick up that Baron. Still in 3 minutes, but they might not even wait for it. The bunch of timers on the map, Tobex still at 40 seconds. They might just try and start pushing down these lanes. You can see the TP in now from Jakester. Gunnar running back from base. They could try. I don't know if they can end here, but they can definitely at least get an inhib and start pushing out these lanes, putting real pressure onto the Kimchi Poros.
Yeah, we're going to see some pressure down here for sure. Miko is back up now, but none of those tanks are up. So it's going to be very difficult to try and actually put some pressure on. We've got the fastest man alive here. He does have Ghost available soon, or perhaps it's up right now. Will do enough damage, popping that actualizer, you know, visualizing success, trying to actualize it here. Not quite able to do much more than just force the Shadow Collective back. They get their reset, 2 minutes off from that potential soul. They're going to have Baron cooking for a while here, and they can easily knock on the doors of this Kimchi Poro comp as long as they play the map intelligently and split their resources correctly and, you know, force the Kimchi Poros into unfavorable situations. I feel like we can probably have Sylas split a little bit here. We can get away with that. Or we just continue to have 5v5 death ball battles of protect the president. We'll see what happens. Of course, the recall coming out from the Rise, just getting that, getting out of dodge there, getting close to those big item breakpoints. We have the Jock Show finished on 2 Tobex in top lane. Very rare to see that item, I feel, these days. 4 items on Wukong. We got 5 on the A-Soul. Got 5 on VFD Lambo, because you don't have to buy boots on AD Carry anymore. So a lot of these, all of our damage dealers are assembling some truly powerful numbers. We're going to see a bloodbath around this Drake, I'm sure of it.
Oh, 100%. I would not be shocked if this is the end of the game either way. Kimchi Poros do still have a little bit to push, so depending on how the fight goes, it might not be the full distance, but at bare minimum, if Kimchi Poros lose this fight, it will absolutely be game for them. If they win, they might be able to claw it back with one more fight, but we'll have to see. Big positioning right now from Shadow Collective, who are able to move in, start clearing out these wards. Don't know that they've been spotted, though, so I have to be careful. Slowed up. They have full vision control, which is a big deal. Alf goes in, manages to get the fight ult, but has to burn the flash because he went a little bit too far forward. And this is a massive mistake here as the Jinx gets excited. Saucy trying desperately to go in, but the portal might have trolled his own team, trying to rip it, keep going forward, but we'll have to see. Saucy is trying desperately. Miko, what have you done? The portal into 4 members of the enemy team has doomed his own members. Oh no.
Just don't ulti, man. What?
Yeah, that was oh man. I wouldn't call that a great fight for Shadow Collective, but really that just felt like a very poorly timed Rise ultimate.
Yeah, we thought that Sylas stole the Malphite ulti, but really he stole the enemy Rise ulti.
Yeah,
and
true.
Used it to warp the enemy team into his team.
Hit him with the Renata mind control.
Just as we said before the stream, we're gonna take 40 minutes to get to game 1. Game 1 is gonna be relatively quick. Game 2 is gonna be 40 minutes, and we're gonna go to a 3-game series, as is written, as always. Draft
I tried to knock on wood with that one, but I don't know. Apollo has gifted me, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Draft never die. Draft always live. Great stuff from the side of Shadow Collective in the end, though.
Jinxter especially.
Yeah, some truly baffling decisions, of course, around the map were made by the Shadow Collective. But they had their win con in pocket, and they made it work. I feel like Kimchi Poros just did not have a good answer to the ASOL endgame position. It came down to, we need to get Jinx excited, but it just felt so out of sync for Kimchi Poros, where they did not have, they'd either have somebody go in too early, or they'd throw themselves too far in and then get punished by the ASOL and the zone control from that champion. It certainly was a tough one to play into. When you have a two-threat composition, you really have to have both threats be incredibly dangerous, and we just didn't really see that from the Rise there. I feel like I was hoping to see a lot more from this Rise, but Miko kind of just had a super quiet game, wasn't able to get a whole lot done because the zone control of the ASOL kind of cripples that champion.
Yeah, I mean, again, great plays from Shadow Collective. I don't want to take that away, but it just feels like Miko was able to pump out the damage, but didn't really fully grasp the nuances of the Rise in these games. Some of the rotations just weren't there. Tobex, actually, despite the scoreline, I do want to say, did quite a lot in distracting members. Was able to get Jinx to that excited state a number of times, just unfortunately were not able to close out the fights. The carries just too strong. The ultimate combo is just too strong for Shadow Collective, and that's how they ended up. And going into Game 3, we'll see if they can keep it up, or if Kimchi Poros are going to learn from their mistakes and come back, take the win that they thought they were getting in Game 1.
Yeah, so we'll see you then in a couple minutes. Welcome back to draft of game 3 of quite a debut series for this new season of the Blue Otter League draft. As the Kimchi, Poros, and Shadow Syndicate are battling it out here. Kimchi Poros taking game 1 in a decisive fashion, but the Shadow Syndicate, off the back of the most powerful dragon on record, will got us here into a game 3 position after a very bloody 40-minute slobber knocker of the game. And now we have the real closer right now of what Shadow Collective are going to be doing on the red side. On the blue side here, as Kimchi Poros have opted to play on red side.
The Jace locked in, and I wonder if this is the new Korean tech, where we're playing him in the jungle now. Because again, Riot just decided a bunch of champions needed to do insane damage to jungle monsters. So now we have Jace jungle for some reason.
Oh, the
Belveth
Belvita?
answer.
We're just playing.
Okay.
We're just picking random champions. It's
We're
game
we're
3
just picking
fearless.
champs
We're
to pick
picking
champs
random
now.
champions. We're
We're
picking
just
our
like,
favorite
hey guys, what do you play? And they go, well, I play 3 of these champs, and the Jarvan's been. And we're like, all right, what do you want? And they're like, I don't know.
I like a Belvita. I've been playing TFT.
Kraken's like an
It's
item
pretty good.
in TFT, right? That applies to the league. Just pick me the Belvet. That'll be fine. Slayers is good right now, right?
Yeah, that seems alright. It seems alright. As we do have the Belvet picked up with the Victor, another stable mid lane mage for Kimchi Poros here. Miko just keeping standard for the time being. The Jace jungle, I think the biggest crime of Jace jungle is that it doesn't even have a funny name, like Gwungle, because it's just Jace jungle. It's the jungle. Nothing you can do with that.
The
As
jangle.
Vhagar will be picked up, and we could see the Jace flex into top lane theoretically, but I feel like that is gonna be some weird Korean Jace jungle nonsense. As Nautilus will be picked up, picking some kind of strange role order here. Saving 80 carry for round 2 is kind of fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, the Veigar too is definitely an interesting scaling option. With the Victor and the Velveth, I don't know. Maybe they heard us talking. Maybe they don't want us to go home tonight. Maybe I'm just here in my empty lecture hall to be casting for the rest of eternity. This has been I have signed up for another year of Drafts League, and this is my punishment.
You've been stuck in the back rooms.
One must imagine Sisyphus happy.
If my brother had to work in the morning, I'd have to. I would definitely be in the Shadow Realm right now with the lights off. So, fortunately, we're not quite there. We're not there since we're on Saturdays, thankfully. I'd be so mad if this was a weeknight, thinking about waking up early in the morning. But that's okay. We have the Braum. He's picked up. He's here. We're banning out. Surprised to see that the Kimchi Poros are not targeting more. I guess maybe there aren't any 80 carries that are worth banning away here. We are gonna ban away the Tristana. Apparently, we just hate Yordles. We just don't want either of these Yordles on the Rift. The Megling genocide continues for all eternity. That's a deep cut for the old heads who've been playing League of Legends for too long. Anyone? This is just me. If I'm even alive anymore. Sivir will get banned away here. So Shadow Syndicate actually targeting those 80 carries, as Kimchi Poro does also need to pick up theirs. Probably gonna blind it. I can't imagine we're gonna go counter pick 80 carry. That would be like criminal, I feel like. So I wonder what they're planning here to go with the Braum. A lot of good picks. A lot of good stuff. Lucian still on the table. Jhin is an option.
It's an interesting option here. I guess if you already have the Belveth and the Victor, providing some of that range damage can be good. With the Braum is an interesting choice. I guess they're just really not trying to fight too much unless the Nautilus goes in. I'd imagine we see an ADC with some pretty consistent damage here. We have a couple things banned, or we could just go all in on this Nautilus pick. I'm gonna be
Oh,
honest.
I guess it is Lambo. I guess it is VFD Lambo.
I mean, it is Lambo, but into the Braum Victor is an interesting
We
option. The
send
Belveth
it.
as well.
We
We're
send it.
sending it.
We
All
send
right.
it. We send it. Yeah. Now we're
Draft game
picking
3,
some
everybody,
real.
where we just send it all the time, all the time. We don't stop.
I love seeing garbage on my screen. This does not solve the dilemma of whether or not it's going to be the Mordekaiser or Jason jungle or top lane. I imagine it'll depend on what this last pick is, which is Urgot. Of course, the final piece of the puzzle of the Kimchi Poros composition is the Urgot. As expected. What is going on? What kind of compositions are we drafting here? What is like the game
Fake.
plan?
The fake ones. That's what we're drafting.
What is happening?
We watched a little too much Los Ratones, and now we're just copying the drafts.
Okay.
Guys, Nemesis and Bausted, we can pull it off too, right? We're fine.
Okay. I'm channeling whatever's left of my brain here at 10:30 p.m. in the evening to try and break down why we've done this. And I don't know. I truly don't know like what the game plan is. Like it really feels like Kimchi Poros have actually just picked 5 champions that they like. I can't even like in my brain see the synergies here. We have a little bit of zone control. We have a little like the Belvita works well with the Braum. Belvita's good at proccing the Braum stun. The Urgot can do that as well. But like can anybody defeat the Veigar cage? How do we get through the baby cage?
Yeah, my question is like obviously like the Victor's fine for poke, but like how do we just not get Jaced?
How do we stop Jace from absolutely shattering us? And then Samira cleans up whatever's left.
I think we're just accounting on the Nautilus turning his brain off and being like, yeah, I can go in on this for no reason, and that's how we're expecting to win games.
I'm just throwing Dreadline out. I'm just throwing it out for fun.
I'm just doing it. I'm just clicking buttons to click buttons, you know, man. I'm just trying to have fun here. We're all just trying to have fun here.
I respect it. I respect it. I hope they have fun. I hope a team wins this game. One of them has to. Right?
That is true. One of them does have to. Well, hey, we could always go so long that the game ends in a tie by the server shutting down after hour 45.
If the game ends at like 40 minutes due to a server shutdown, we're not playing. We're calling it a draw. We're gonna have him flip a coin. That's how we're gonna decide it.
We're just coin flipping now. To be fair, I feel like with some of these fights we're already coin flipping, but I guess making it concise.
Yeah, so we'll see what team has more powerful aura in this final game. Who can deliver the most hype moments in aura in Game 3 here of Week 1 of the Blue Otter League draft. We'll see you in a couple minutes on the Rift.
To hold our heads up high and beat the drum to what we love. Risk the fall, oh, we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the Join the madness when the curtain falls. Risk it all, hold nothing back. Seize the day, we must attack. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of a world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high. And we all fight at the last Can we bring to fall the giants? 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 We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of a world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high. And we all fight at the
Welcome back here on the Rift for the closer, the final game of the evening in our series between the Kimchi Poros and Shadow Collective here in week 1 of the Blue Otter League draft. I am still Becky Rita, supposedly, and Reigns is still in the back rooms as we are seeing a level 1 little tussle here between Tobex and Alf. Just, flexing on each other a little bit, trying to get some lane control. as we have some very interesting compositions in front of us. We've been asking questions like, how does Samira play the game? How do they beat Jace? How do they get through the baby cage? How do
I think we
win
have yet
this
to find
game?
answers.
And we'll find answers this game. The answer will probably be no to all of those questions, but we can pretend. We
How
can
does
see
Samira
something
deal
we've
with the
never
team?
seen before.
No,
How does Samira? She just doesn't.
she does not.
Thanks for asking.
Oh,
Speaking
no.
of thanks for asking, what is happening?
The fiesta has already started. We're all in.
Awesome stuff. We've traded Flashes and Ignite out of Tobex here. Alf does have the TP this game, so we'll have that little bit of advantage here to get the early recall and not get super punished by that early aggression, as we have the Nautilus throwing out a lot of dredge lines here, just playing super aggro, which I am a-okay with. I feel early on you can be aggressive here, especially considering Jin doesn't do a whole lot early in the game. You can absolutely just aggro on him and make that work. So I think that's a smart maneuvering here. The Jace in the jungle. This is some new technology, only possible because Riot Games has decided to give monster damage to... every season they spin a wheel and they give monster damage to whoever they roll. This season they rolled Malphite and Jace. So
Do you remember the MSI meta years ago that was Udyr, right? Understandable.
Yep.
But it was because AP items were strong. We busted a bunch of stuff. It was Udyr, Rumble, and Morgana were the top 3 junglers in the game.
Yep. Yep.
Tobex? Tobex?
Tobex is
Tobex?
dead. Tobex is no longer with us. He's in a better place now.
Okay.
F
F equals,
definitely get a return kill here.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Needs to be able to get the W, though. Now another fight in the bot lane. Dive onto Saucy Hunt. Gonna get a lot of damage now onto Adam. Has to be careful. VFD Lambo gonna be able to block that force shot with the W, which is really strong. And top side, it looks like F equals was actually so weak that he had to blow his own flash to get out of that one.
Yeah, I feel like, unfortunately, the Belvita just did not have the damage. Alf did have full shield charge, so was able to probably just tank that out, get that healing going, and the Belvita, just without any actual damage items, was relying a lot on the red buff burn and whatever passive damage from the rapid attacks, but did not pan out in the end, as Lambo not gonna be able to get any more damage down here. Adam looked a little scary. He looked like he was in a little bit of a scary position after that dredge line, but got out of dodge here. Tobex gonna aggress on it to the Mordekaiser. The good thing about the Urgot is that being a slightly ranged champion does give you some advantages in laning, but after giving up that first kill to Alf, probably not as good of a position. Double warding the brush. That's plus 10 gold to whoever pinged it. This is a disaster.
Yeah, I don't know. We have to be really careful, right? Because obviously Adam could just die, but Lambo could return a double kill very easily here if we're not careful, and that might just happen. BFD Lambo picking up one, but F equals is thankfully here to try and back it up, but we'll see. It might not be enough. Needs to get the E out, but doesn't have the cooldown. Used it a little bit too early, and the flash barrier used as well. Does manage to return the 1-for-1, though, and quite honestly, in that situation, I think that's the best you could have asked for, especially with this almost 13 CS lead. A really nice early start from Lambo, who's just getting so much AD, no attack speed needed. Longsword, pickaxe.
I mean, your goal is to just, kill them to death. Ooh, that was an unfortunate dredge line. Yeah, just sort of a miscalculation on that dredge line there. Could have potentially become something, but I think it's all right. Not going to be too upset about that, as the real stun is going to be Jakester, who gets caught in the gravity squeeze from Miko here. Chaos Storm will keep Jakester at bay. Probably going to have to reset pretty soon. Again, super down here on the Veigar. Just getting poked out by those lasers, not really able to contest a whole lot. Falling behind, which is not a good place to be in if you are the Veigar here. Flash from Miko, but not enough
Oh my god,
damage.
Jake's
The
just
gravity
still
squeeze.
alive. Yeah. Gunner managing to pick up that kill. That is tragic. That was so close. That was such a close kill as well.
Yeah, just like 1 point of damage short. So sad. That's why you build the Ruby Crystal, I suppose. That's why you get the tank items.
Doesn't make sense.
That's why you get the tankier items. So allows you to not die.
Yeah, we'll
But
see.
no,
I
that
mean,
was tragic.
yeah, that was just a sad matchup there. Ooh, okay. Tobex makes it out. We don't have to burn our flash. We don't have to die here. Dragon up. Grubs maybe coming up soon. Big engage, possibly? Nah, just gonna back up. Looks like no one really wants to do anything too crazy right now, and I'm not too surprised about that. Nico might have stepped a little bit too far forward, though, but
Nah.
playing his ranges, playing smart here. And again, this is another thing with the Jace, right? Really good if you're able to get those kills, get that poke, but unfortunately just doesn't have the same ganking power.
Yeah, his ganks really are kind of just like occasionally a shock blast will just snipe you from the fog of war. And he might be able to run at you and just jump on you with his hammer, but he does rely a lot on his laners setting up for him. And I think that for the most part, there's pretty decent setup. I mean, Jin sets up well with the Braum. The Gravity Well sets up pretty well as Karoo will have to dip out of there. Adam will be fine on the return. So there's some good setup. And I'm looking at the other team here as we have, actually for Gunner, there's the Cage, you got Nautilus, but it's still pretty difficult to get in there as Adam will pop the Death Lotus.
Yeah, big damage, but not quick and me enough now. We'll see it, though. Opens up the curtain call. VFD Lambo has to be careful. Adam taking a lot of damage. Flash from F equals into the knockup. Manages to dodge the dredge line from Adam. VFD Lambo going to desperately try and get the ult back in, but it's not going to come out in time. F equals with a double kill. That'll soon hopefully be translated into a Chemtech Drake for Kimchi Poros.
Yeah, it's a doubler on the Belvita, who has picked up 3 kills right now. The thing about the Belveth champion is that if she starts to accelerate, she can become incredibly hard to stop. She is one of those carry junglers a la Mr. Yi and such, who is just so dangerous when you don't have good CC to stop and when they get any kind of lead. So with 3 kills on the Belveth, she already has, hey, look at, it's Kraken, y'all. Kraken is here. We're building the TFT items. We're gonna get a Ginsu's next, for sure. Real, not clickbait. As F equals will be able to, is actually gonna be moving up to try and get the Grubbins, giving over the Chemtech Drake to the side of Shadow Syndicate, and also 2 Grubbies to the side of the Shadow Syndicate, who kind of just get some neutral objectives for absolute free off of that reset that F equals had to take.
Yeah, that's a little shocking there, and I feel like this has kind of been the story of just like teams get a good fight, but then they just can't translate that into objectives, unfortunately, and it's been really rough. The bright side here, F equals on that Kraken Slayer, 68 CS, you know, still a little bit below the Jace, but with the 3 kills, does have that completed item, is very strong, and is going to be able to farm a lot better now, especially with that form. Going to make it a lot easier. Eventually going to have to turn that into more, but right now, just going to keep trying to farm up, keep rotating those camps. Doesn't look like there's going to be too much fighting going on. Obviously, Adam's going to try to go in, but Karoo can kind of just always put up the shield and back off. There's really not a lot that Nautilus can do into these Braum lanes. So I'm kind of wondering if there's a game plan there, if they're just going to keep going. Jakester, though, blind checks, needed to get the ward, and it's going to be F equals. Oh, we managed to land engage in the bot side and the top side, too. It's going to be out taking out Tobax. Now back to the bot lane as Saucy Hunt lands that 4th shot, but unfortunately the bot lane from Shadow Syndicate weren't able to take out Karoo. They were, however, able to take out Tobax in a 1-for-1 trade for the Jakester. Possibly looking for the dive now. They have to be careful. No Q, no W from Saucy Hunt as well. Looks like they don't want to aggress on it. A little too scared of the Braum just blocking off the shield, and I can't blame them for that one.
Yeah, and you got to keep in mind that F equals could easily move down there. They do have vision, so they would see that happening. But, just playing a little bit safe there. They know that Braum can just block off their damage. There's no reason to overstep to get no damage when you're already going to get no damage. You might as well just play a little bit safer, wait for a better opportunity. The Jhin here has been having a lot of trouble just doing things in the lane this game. Down a significant amount of CS because the aggression from Adam has just been really good. I feel if you've been watching the Nautilus we get to see the bot lane here, I've been really impressed with the way Adam's been positioning here, the way he's been maneuvering, and we've got a big scuffle.
Yep, big kill on F equals right now, and onto Saucy both. Now going to pick up the tower, but unfortunately for Kimchi Poros, there's nothing on the map for them to take in a side. No weird objectives to take, so this will just be a fight win and some objective power for Shadow.
Ooh, unless
this
man
is
potentially
Tobex manages to over-aggress, unless potentially being able to get the execute, but just doesn't have the damage to cut through that shield yet, and it's going to be Alf picking up the kill onto Tobex. Pause what I said. There is something for Shadow Collective to take on the other side of the map. It was Tobex.
Yeah, great heads-up decision from Alf there. Burnt the flash there, had the Rylai's, knew that Tobex was dead as hell. Just not enough damage from the Urgot yet. Not a completed item. Really just nothing to be afraid of. Alf, it got a little close there, but I feel like with the shield and everything, Alf was super safe in that. And Tobex is never getting out of there once the Rylai's triggers. One of the things of, one of the reasons you rush the Rylai's on the Mordekaiser is that once he has it and you're a melee, you're never getting away from him. You are stuck fighting the big metal man, and you either live or die, those are your two options. As Adam is going to aggress here onto Karoo, just getting a little bit of, controlling the river there. As around the rest of the map, we have a minute on the next Drake. Adam just so aggressive here on the Nautilus. I love, I already said I love to see it. I love to see it. I love Nautilus. It's one of my favorite guys. I'm the only person who's excited about Nautilus in 2026, but I am.
I don't think I've seen this champ out of games since he came out, honestly. I think there was a little bit, but
he wasn't in games until somebody was like, hey, this champion who has a CC on 4 abilities, why don't we just play him?
Okay, he was during Ardent Sensor meta, that's fair.
Instead of Ardent Sensor, he wasn't in that.
Do I even need to play-by-play that again? I don't know. This is the 4th time this has happened to Tobex. You feel like they learn it. Okay, and we're doing a little double lift recreation here, except instead of the Victor, it's the Vigar. We're just walking up to a Vigar with ult and dying. Okay.
Huh.
Sure.
Right.
Kimchi Poro's decision making this game has been questionable at best.
They got zapped with the bad decision gun between games 1 and 3 here. I think something happened in game 2 that shattered their mental capacities. It might have been the realm warp. Somebody got their brains got disconnected from the rest of their bodies. For when they got teleported by the Rise there. And because they died before they could their soul could connect with the rest of their body, there's just no hope anymore. Perhaps this is what we're seeing here. It's all Belvita. It's all Belveth trying to win this game at this point.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, that's kind of your main carry. You really need to rely on her getting to this late game, getting to this sort of hyper carry potential. If you can't, it's just it's going to be bad news.
So, it looks like we have, I think, is Mord going for Dusk and Dawn, I assume, with the Sheen there?
I'd imagine so. I'm pretty sure it procs your passive earlier, right? Because you hit the, you hit an auto Q auto and it'll immediately grab it, or you hit the auto.
Oh, okay.
Or you just pull, with that, hit it, hit the grasp off or something, like the E, pull them in together. We'll see. A lot of skill shots missing, not doing a whole lot right now. Both teams just walking away, trying to fight over the Herald, but it's kind of hard right now. Neither team really having a strong position to fight from. So just trying to sort of jockey around that neutral position until they can find a way in, which neither of them are.
Yeah, I will say Shadow Syndicate does have the ability to actually engage because they have the Nautilus, they have the Dredge Line, which can just get somebody moving on the map here, get somebody in a kind of an unfavorable position, which will start a fight. As F equals is now, sitting in the crib, in the baby cage, as the TP is gonna come in from Alf, just to keep Jakester safe, as we got a big aggression here. Everybody accelerating.
Yeah, F equals. Oh, caught in the cage now, pulled back in, knocked all around. It's actually going to be Adam
My
picking up the
gold.
shutdown.
My
Not
gold.
really what you wanted to see, but
Earned.
honestly, at this point for Shadow Collective, it kind of doesn't matter. They're just so far ahead, and now they're going to turn their sights towards the Herald, try and pick this one up. Dragon in 3 minutes, but it's not really going to matter. It will be Soul Point. But honestly, I don't even know if they need it at this point. They are just in full control of this game. The goal difference isn't that crazy because of the farming in the mid lane especially, but it's still really hard. They've just been winning fight after fight after skirmish after fight right now, and it feels like Kimchi Poros can do nothing to stop them.
Yeah, the deficits are just so... in the places that the deficits are there, it's just really tough to deal with. And I think one of the big problems with the Kimchi Poros comp is the fact that they just don't have a clear path into any fights. They're relying a lot on Shadow Syndicate stepping too far forward and getting punished, kiting back with the Gravity Well and the Chaos Storm and the Braum Shield and the Glacial Fissure, trying to set up a lot of that, but they don't have any kind of fight starting potential. Unironically, like Curtain Call is one of their better options to start a fight. Aside from
you're not wrong.
Velveeta dashing in and hitting a root and dying instantly because Jace is also there. But it looks like we're going to see what they can do here.
We're going in. We're fighting this. VFD Lambo right in onto F equals. Questionable decision a little bit. Gunner gets stunned up, and it's not going to be enough now to TP in from Jakester to make sure that they can't continue that fight. Speed Burst Froze. We're running Shirel. Oh, I didn't even realize we had Shirelias on.
Veigar,
okay,
Shirelias.
we're Jakester got some the tech, I guess.
I mean, I think it's sick. Because Veigar is definitely a champion who doesn't actually really need the big AP items because he can just kind of get it himself on his own by hitting abilities. So you might as well get Shirelias, which allows you to engage. It gets your Nautilus in, it gets your Samira in, it allows Mordekaiser to get on top of people easier. With the acceleration gate, you go so quickly. And also, it just allows you to get in range for the baby cage, which is one of the big tools that the Shadow Syndicate have to turn these fights in their favor. Does not help you when you get picked off in a side lane, but, it's at least it is a cool idea.
He didn't have the cooldown up, to be fair. It might have saved him. Who knows?
It wouldn't have, but, it's a cool idea. I do
but,
like the Shirelia's tech. I don't know what else it could have been. I mean,
I think it's a fine option, honestly.
I like it. I think it's a cool option that fits the team well. And it gives again another button to just go in that Kimchi Poros does not have. But if Kimchi Poros just keeps getting random picks, that's a way to win the game. If the Shadow Syndicate just stop thinking and walk in on their own, or get caught in a side lane. But we're gonna see a scuffle around this next Drake. Kimchi Poros already set up for it. Veigar on the way. TP is up for Tobex, so we will see a 5v5 here. Alf getting punched
Okay, and here's
out.
the curtain call
going.
Yeah, like you said, that's kind of their way to open fights. But again, no hard engage means that's what a fight engage looks like for you. Managed to force out Alf, but he does have the enhanced TP, so it doesn't really matter. They do have to do something before Tobex just takes all their towers, though.
Yeah, Tobex on the side, not playing New York, but we're going to split anyways as Karoo going to take some punishment there. Herald summoned in mid. Gravity squeeze on to the Jakester there as Tobex is going to die horribly on the side lane. That's okay, because that means Mordekaiser's not there in the real fight.
Yeah, does have the TP
Drake,
though,
but,
still possibly, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to kill everyone anyway. Does not matter if Mordekaiser is there or not. Shadow Collective win on the top side. They're winning at Dragon. They're getting Soul Point. Not quite getting. Wait, did they get the tower? They did get the tower and the tower. Everything $10 bajillion to Shadow Collective.
Yeah. This is
What do you
again,
do if you're
kind of
Kimchi Poros?
you can't really do anything. They're relying on Shadow Collective playing badly. And that is not a recipe for success. Obviously, there's always the chance that the Shadow Collective kind of just blunder their way into the Belvita blender, but like we've been talking about this so much here, but it has to be said and stated again, Kimchi Poros have not drafted a way to start a team fight. They have not drafted a button that allows them to easily begin a fight. They are relying so much on a pick or a good angle, just like, you know, maybe a flank from the Belveth to get a good knockup, or just, you know, relying on counter engage. But when you're so far behind, you can't rely on counter engage. And I guess the solution here is shouldn't have fallen behind, I guess. But, you know, now that you're in this situation, what do? It's really tough to call here. You kind of have to turtle up, wait for Victor to get some items, wait for Belveth to get another item here. We've got the Striker's Flail, of course, a little bit. I guess we didn't get the right items here for the actual Destin slot build. I don't know what the Kraken Striker's Flail. I feel like, you know, we got to get a crit item then, but sorry, TFT, everyone. It's a TFT joke. Sorry.
Infinite TFT jokes.
Yeah.
Only TFT jokes.
It's all I play anymore, so.
Oh, Miko. Oh, Miko.
No.
Oh, no,
no,
Miko.
the Shirelias.
Oh,
So
from
fun.
Karoo.
Okay.
I don't think Miko would have died from there. I don't think
Nah.
the Viger has the AP quite yet, but it's
Oh,
still
we're breaking
dangerous.
holes.
I mean, look,
Tobex
Tobex has been consistently, you know, taking towers in the split push. I guess that's your win condition if you're Kimchi Poros. You kind of just need to keep sending Tobex into the Alf meat grinder and hoping to God you win the turret race, because I don't think there's much else you can do.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously Tobex is gonna die here. That's a foregone conclusion. So what matters now is what the rest of Kimchi Poros can do to make the most of this in the bot. Make the most of these trades in the bot side here. And they're kind of pinned under turret. They can't really, again, they can't start a fight. They don't have a button to start a fight. So even without Alf there, they still have to fight through the, you know, Adam. And I will say, the side of Shadow Collective are not super tanky even with Alf, they just aren't super tanky. So they absolutely, if there was lockdown here, could shred through the Shadow Collective composition. I think the tankiest player might actually, aside from Adam, it might be just the Veigar with all that HP.
It might be, really, honestly.
So in that 4v4, you could look for that fight once Alf leaves, but again, it's just they lack the ability to start a fight. That is just been such a thorn in their side. And hopefully, you know, now around this Drake, if they can set up position around it first, they could maybe hope to get something going. But unfortunately, they aren't in the right position. The waves are definitely in favor of the Shadow Syndicate right now. So we'll see who actually sets up around this Drake first. We've got a minute till it spawns. If Kimchi Poros start setting up here, they do have a chance to fight this out, but it's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, I don't really know how they have complete setup over this. Eventually, they're getting to the point where they're just sending Miko to clear the waves because they know that Tobex is just gonna die every single time, and it's hard. I think it's kind of the call you need to make, but it's very difficult. I mean, I don't know if anyone does enough damage, and especially not when they're getting caught like that. Saucy immediately forced to flash out of the cage. Karoo has to be very careful, finally landing the Glacial Fisher, but it might not be enough. VFD Lambo managing to take out one. Tobex goes down. Still manages to get out alive, though. The curtain call finally coming out. Have to be very careful. They finally take out Miko. And it is a 2-0 right now. As Lambo goes on a killing spree, F equals get taken into the death realm and locked up. Sauce, the last one left alive with absolutely no kills on the board, and it is a free soul at 25 minutes for Shadow Collective. Kimchi Poros have all but gotten the book written on them right now, and especially after that flash hook from Adam. At this point, they're just going to be tearing down towers, tearing down inhibitors, tearing down a Dragon Soul, probably a Baron shortly after that, and I don't think it's going to be long on the game now. 4 minutes left, until 30 minutes. I don't even know if we're going to make it to that point.
Yeah, I'll set you this one up for free, Kimchi Poros. In banter chat, type subdiff admin corruption ? At Mr. Lean. All right, I've already set you up. That's okay. You can blame your loss on the fact that Shadow Syndicate substitute absolutely just demolished Tobex in the top lane in this game. You get it for free with your game loss here.
They just give it to you for free.
But yeah, that aside, it is definitely it feels like it's curtains for the Kimchi Poros. It's just kind of a matter of, can Shadow Syndicate close it out without somehow finding a way to throw the game? It's certainly, there's always a possibility that something
in draft there's
happens.
always a possibility. Jakester. Oh no. Oh no. It's a disaster.
It's that's not what you want to see.
Yeah, I was about to say, Lambo might have been going in a bit deep, but had full protection and almost to the ult. At this point, I don't think there's much anyone can do. Especially, look, a normal Vigar running at you, just walk away. When that Vigar is running at you with Shirelias on the Jhin, you don't have your flash, you're just, you just stare at him because there is nothing you can do. You just have to cry about it.
Yeah, I will also cry that I'm now learning that it's apparently been Shadow Collective. I don't know where I got the word syndicate from. I genuinely don't know.
Too many syndicates. Too many playing syndicates and syndicate teams and draft leagues. It gets confusing. Now engage here from Adam. Gonna get the root onto Karoo, who is going to absolutely explode through the Braum shield. Tries to put up the door, doesn't matter. Adam keeps going forward, is not scared of anything at this point. Now with the Baron empowered minions, Shadow Collective are not scared at all. They are just going to try and charge through that base. Top tower going down. Mid inhibitor going down. Going to try and get more top towers, more inhibitors, eventually waiting for those super minions to come in. And without a big support to keep them safe from this engage, it's going to be very difficult. Finally opening up on the curtain call. Adam going to try tanking this up. And yeah, there's really not much to be done. You could see just how little that curtain call did. Nice root onto Adam, trying to get big damage down, but it's not going to be enough. Miko at 1 manages to use the ult to force people back a little bit. But yeah, I'm just worried. Eventually the super minions are going to crash in mid, and there's not going to be anything for Shadow Collective to do but push mid, end the game. We'll see now. F equals trying to land the knockups. Karoo gets low. Tobex trying to find a way in, but
just right-clicking at them. This is where
they just can't do anything.
This is the state of the Kimchi Poros composition. We have our Urgot right-clicking aggressively at the enemies. This can't be what life is. This isn't how we're supposed to live our lives here, right? There's supposed to be more to life. It's certainly sad. Yeah, there's super minions cracking in there as we have just walked into the baby cage.
Miko.
I mean, there's no way you're getting out of that one except by using flash. So we absolutely could have avoided dying there, and we just chose not to.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say here, right? The writing's on the wall. F equals, they're all going back, trying to regen in base, desperately about to defend. The super minions finally here. Nice engage from Adam. Finally going through. Beautiful cage, locks up 3 into the knockup. BFD Lambo spinning around those guns to get a little flashy there right at the end. Get a little bit more kill participation. Was it needed? Probably not. Is F equals going to die? Probably. Full 5 for 0. Shadow Syndicate with an absolute trouncing in the game 3. Ending the game just a little after 30 minutes.
Shadow Collective. The Shadow Collective. I have led you astray by saying their name wrong this entire series.
Did I not say Shadow Collective right at the end?
Yeah, you should have said it.
Oh my god, I was getting it right the whole time too.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've betrayed you. Anyways, Belvita did like 300 more damage than Nautilus. So that's what else do you say? What else
I
can
don't
you
think there's much.
say?
I don't think there's much you can say. That's just that's a depressing state to be in for the game. And honestly, I do think the vast majority came out of draft. There was just so little that could be done after minute 7. Like I feel like before that, you can maybe win some fights, you can get a bit of a gold lead. But if you're not ahead by that point, it's just so hard to take over.
Man, and I will say to F equals credit, they actually did get a decent lead on the Belveth early, but like Tobex was an absolute uh just a rock, and not the good kind of Malphite rock, but like the actual like boulder that you're trying to push up the hill. Just truly an anchor in this game. Um Singed may have been banned, but was still running it down. It is kind of unfortunate. I mean, it's just kind of Mordekaiser just beats you up, which is sad to see. If you're the side of the Kimchi Poros, at least it's sad to see. But I will say, very impressed with the turnaround here from the side of the Shadow Collective, as they have closed out the series. Game 1 was a little rough. Game 2 was very much back and forth, but very decisive in the Game 3 here, making sure that they close it out. And I feel like the whole team has to feel pretty good about themselves in this last game here. Some things to definitely improve throughout, things you can learn from this series, especially in regards to map movements and macro decisions, but there's definitely a lot of potential on this Shadow Collective roster. We'll have to see how they perform with their actual top laner, or if they have been boosted by a substitute who came in illegally or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it was approved, everything was good. So unfortunately, kind of just a bad beat story. That last game, very rough decision. But hey, putting up a fight, Kimchi Poros, absolutely, good game, very close game in that second match as well. All things considered, I think it was a good match to watch. Unfortunate that the third game was a little bit one-sided, but big props to all the players tonight. Shadow Collective doing a really great job. Jakester kind of locking down the mid lane. Adam as well. Alf just absolutely running dominant the entire time.
Yeah, so with that said, I think we can close out for tonight here. We can all move on with our lives. So what a great opening week. Some fun games, enough questionable decision, but also hype moments and aura. Draft is so back. I have been Becky Rita with Reigns in the liminal space, and Loki waiting patiently to go to bed as we are finally ready to close the book on this one. We'll see you all next week for more Draft League action for as the season begins. Is gonna be looking like it's gonna be a good one. So you're gonna want to check in every week, every Saturday. See you then.